wishing him well, and rightfully so.
What a moment, what a player. Nobody wants to go home.
Are you crying? What's that? Are you crying? Am I crying? No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Tied up on a giveaway for point. Swivels it back. Caves in victory lead. Scores. Backdoor. Champion game tied. Second of game. Kucherov to Moser. Kucherov scores. Off Hagel in front. Takes a look. Cross ice pass. And Nugent Hopkins scores. Patient to Leo, gets it back, score! Mikhail Granlund has tied the game! Managed to keep the puck in the zone for Paling out of the corner in front. Oh, it's between the legs of Joe, and I think it's in! They say no goal! The Ducks think it's in! That puck's over the line. After review, the puck completely crossed the net. We go coast to coast. Just outside is Vegas. The same, and no, it's in.
After the review, the play was offside, no goal.
Just lost his stick now. And the center shot and a score. Shea Theodore scores in overtime for Vegas. Fraser Minton turned the puck over. Alex Tuck for Krebs, and he scores. Vincent coming out of the box. McLeod scores. Looking,
He's already dead.
now plays it across. Byron's got an open net and he scores.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Bring out Jadid. Manta centers when they score. Elmer Soderblom.
He says he's not dead. Yes, he is. Oh, no. He isn't.
For Letang. And another strange carom.
No, you're not. You'll be stone dead in a moment.
Poked away with Draisaitl one time. T-Town. Draisaitl. Bouchard. 3-0.
3 left in the period. Wild on the power play. Shot, score! Matt Boldy.
There. Stretch pass on. Pastrnak in. Score!
4, 5. Still alive.
Wins game 5.
Thank God for hockey.
Yes, everybody, thank God for hockey, because this has been an incredible first round, and we're just in the first round. It's not even over yet, and it's been that amazing. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Big Apple Hockey. Yes, that was a long intro because I started working on it on Monday, and it just kept getting better and better and better. But great to be back with you guys, and all of us back in the state of New York for a change, since we got that guy down here back home. But I, of course, am your host, and there it is, Mark Williams. Seems like everything's a little bit delayed for me right now. Hopefully that won't be the case. Joined by the host of the Final Buzzer, Mr. John Volkowski.
Yeah, back in New York for a little bit, and then making my way down. I should be on for next week, but yeah, this is gonna be an interesting transition for me.
Well, we're looking forward to the transition for you, as well as transitioning over to Mr. Anthony Larocco.
Yeah, a couple of series that we thought maybe were not quite locks, but teams making comebacks. And round one has not disappointed so far. And then you also have the NHL draft lottery for those of you like us that are fans of teams that didn't make the dance. That is coming up on Tuesday. So, yeah, a lot of going on, a lot to look forward to. And, you know, as always, you know, this nothing like NHL playoff hockey.
Yeah, and hopefully we might have a reaction video to that because I have a good feeling that the New York Rangers are going to be sliding down in the draft. They have a 69% chance of that happening. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Not really going to get into prospects and stuff like that. We'll save that for next week on where the Rangers slot when we know more on it. But welcome back, everybody, once again. And let's get to the A block, which is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the promo code Big Apple Hockey for $20 off your first order. And just like that, we lost Anthony. But use the promo code Big Apple Hockey, as I just mentioned, and Big Apple Hockey trucker hats and shirts are available right now. We keep saying it because it is going to happen. We're going to have our annual Islanders and Rangers postseason wrap-ups for each of the teams. And also tonight's slate. Yep, there it is. Penguins at Flyers game 6, Canadians at Lightning game 5, and the Mammoth at the Golden Knights game 5 as well. So, Phil, I will start with you on this one. Thoughts on the first round thus far? Like, has there been anything all that shocking? And now that we're seeing more series one of them that we thought was going to end potentially Saturday is still going on right now. And two of them that ended on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, yeah, I mean, Minnesota getting ahead of Dallas has been surprising. I will say that, you have Montreal and Tampa has been tooth and nail. And then Philadelphia looked like they were going to run Pittsburgh out in 4 games. And now Pittsburgh has climbed back and is forced game 6 tonight. Anaheim and Edmonton, I mean, I can't believe Anaheim's up on them right now. We'll talk more about some ramifications of that later, but these Utah and Vegas being tied 2-2. If you would have told me that after 4 that series would have been tied 2-2 and that Utah would have been up 2-1 on Vegas, I would have laughed at you, probably. There's just a lot of unpredictability going on with this first round. And, that's part of why I always say the first round is probably the most wonderful time of the year when it comes to hockey, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I looked really stupid on my Carolina-Ottawa prediction. I thought that series would go a lot longer. Ottawa's guys.
You're not the only one.
They just couldn't score. I don't know if they were just gripping the sticks too tight. They had chances too. They had tons of chances. They had a lot of posts in that series, missed some open nets, chances to score, and they just couldn't get it done. And then, obviously Colorado and LA, I think that's like the one that I was really kind of bang on about, but I felt like that was just way too obvious. So, yeah, it's been fun though. It's been fun. I wonder if Minnesota can close Dallas out. I mean, that would be a pretty big upset. You would have to wonder what happens with them in the next round, just because you can't really like the center depth if they're going against Colorado. That's going to be a tough matchup if they somehow win that. But yeah, that team's got a good core, and I've been saying this for a little bit. I predicted them last year to finally break through. This year they finally did, but they've made some additions. Vejmelka has been really good for them. Outside of the overtime winner for Shea Theodore in the last game 4, that's really kind of a blip on their radar for Vejmelka. So, I would say if Minnesota beats Dallas, it's an upset. Dallas was the heavy favorite in that series by many. I would say.
And also, some people picked them to win the Stanley Cup, myself included.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been a nice surprise. It's you know what? I'm gonna start this. We're gonna talk about that later. I like that comment. That's definitely a talking point for later. But yeah, it's been fun. I've had a lot of fun with this. I hope you guys are having fun watching it. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of last night, but every night so far has had something interesting.
Yeah, Anthony, what's your thoughts on the first round so far?
I like it. I thought, I think we all kind of knew that Colorado was going to. Sorry, I'm just writing down my last obscurities guy. Multitasking Mariota.
I got to do that as well.
I think the one series that I am kind of surprised about, and it's not Utah and Vegas. I thought Utah was going to give Vegas a good run. The one thing I'm surprised about is Anaheim and Edmonton. I thought that Edmonton was gonna win this series, and they still might. I mean, they're down 3-2, but it's gonna be a tall order to ultimately win 3 in a row, 2 more at least. But I just thought Edmonton was going to control that series. Just how I know we all talk about their goaltending, their defense, but I just thought McDavid and Draisaitl were going to kind of overpower the youngsters of Anaheim. They're a relatively inexperienced team, at least their top players. I know they got guys like Kreider and Killorn, Carlson have been there before, but a lot of their best players, it's really their first playoff action. Mason McTavish, Leo Carlson, Cutter Gauthier. So I think even has Troy Terry made the playoffs of the Ducks before, or is this his first playoff?
I actually don't think he has. No.
Needless to say, yeah, they're very inexperienced, and Edmonton has been there. I just thought Edmonton was going to control the series. Everything else, honestly, I'm not so surprised about. Minnesota and Dallas. I mean, that's a toss up. We all talked about how that shouldn't be a first round matchup, but it was. Not surprised how that's going. Buffalo, Boston, yeah, not really surprised by that. So it's honestly gone about how I thought it would. Really, it's the only series that's really surprised me up to this point has been Edmonton and Anaheim.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. The first round last year, you talking about culminating with the Cole Perfetti goal with a second remaining to keep the President's Trophy team still in it. But then you have, but there were so many different things that happened in that first round, and late goals that tied up games. And one, you have this year, as I'm trying to collect my thoughts about it this year, you already have 3 series that are 2-2. One of them that's not 2-2 anymore because the Wild, went up 3-2. The Lightning and the Canadiens have I didn't realize I'm all by myself, everybody. I was still on a different window. The Lightning and the Canadiens, who have gone the first 3 games went to overtime, and the 4th game had the game-winning goal within the last 5 minutes. Now take that and now think about Utah and Vegas that are really now starting to make a rivalry out of all this. And Vegas kind of flexed their muscle. Utah showed that they can win. Vegas absolutely hoarded them in game 3, but Utah was the one that had the big lead because just everything seemed to go in on Carter Hart. And then Vegas comes out, takes a 3-0 lead in game 4, and then Utah scores the next 4, gives up the equalizer, and then 2 goals in overtime. One of them was disallowed, of course, on Jack Eichel's offsides. But there's a lot in the particulars we're going to get into. I got to say now the Pittsburgh Flyer series is sort of going more the way I thought it was. And if you look at that series as maybe Pittsburgh wins 1, Flyers win the next 2, Pittsburgh wins, Flyers win the next 3, Pittsburgh wins 1, force it. It's a little bit different, but when you go down 0-3, you're talking about a team that's got to win 4 in a row. So that's where that kind of changes. But you look at Carolina, you thought Ottawa was going to challenge them, but Ottawa really just proved they're not ready for prime time. And some of the opinions about a superstar, we're going to get more into that in Bar Talk, but there's those opinions that everybody's going, hey, maybe he's not that great. No, shut up. That's ridiculous. And there's a lot of other guys factor in. And a lot of different series to factor in because there's just been a lot of good. And look at that Boston Buffalo series. That it was Boston flexing their muscle, then Buffalo was able to score the next 3 and win game 1. Boston then shut them out in game 2, and it looked like Boston was going to roll in game 3. Buffalo gets the first goal and then ends up winning the game. Alex Lyon does a great job both games in Boston. Do they stick with Alex Lyon? They probably do. And there's the and then Pastrnak. What a move. What an absolute move in overtime. And just after Alex Tuch had the chance to win the series, Sabres have not won a playoff series since beating the New York Rangers back in 2007 in 6 games when they won in Madison Square Garden. So it looks like if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it in Boston, potentially in Buffalo, but it looks like they're going to have to do it in Boston. And I thought them in game 4 kind of just spoiled the mystique of Jeremy Swayman, who now we know is a Vezina Trophy finalist, along with Ilya Sorokin and Andrei Vasilevsky. But then you get those guys, and then you kind of now Swayman kind of battles, keeps it to just a goal last night. Great finish. There's just great finishes every single night now. It's just unbelievable. And still riffing to get a little bit more time for my co-hosts so they can get back on. Let's take some of your comments right now, guys. I know they're talking about Brady and the early predictions where he's going. Look, Dwayne, everybody's disrespecting the Carolina Hurricanes, talking about how the Sens didn't do it instead of what Carolina did. Look, the big difference, we're going to talk about him more in a minute. Two players. One we'll talk about in Bar Talk, but one guy you got to give all the credit in the world to is Logan Stankoven. What a first round he's having. And look, the thing is, we all know Carolina, they get to a certain point and then they can't do it. Let's see if they can finally do it. That's one thing about them we're all looking to. So, Phil, let's go through some of the individual series, but let's start with this one because I think the ramifications of it is huge. Edmonton is down 3-2 to Anaheim now. They were down 3-1 after game 4 because, as we showed in the open, there was that play where Ryan Poehling throws it on net and it hits, I think, off of Darnell Nurse's skate, squeaks over by Tristan Jarry, your typical Tristan Jarry goal against. Although his skate is covering the puck, it looks like the puck is over the line. Was that enough for you to call it a goal if you were in NHL replay?
No. I'll say this. They need to bring back. They need to bring back something and then revamp it just a little bit. They need to bring back that line.
Yeah.
That they tried a few years back with that
the green line
behind the goal. They need to not make it exactly 3 inches. They need to make it just a little more than that. And they need to insert sensors to basically kind of triangulate around that length back of the net. And if the puck even taps the sensors in the slightest bit, then you know it's a goal. Like without it, you don't even need to see the puck because there's logic to this on both sides. You can't definitively call something a goal when you can't see it, even if you can imagine it. Like even if common sense tells you that it's over, like you Shayna Goldman's right about it. It needs to be black and white. It needs to be a definitive look that says, hey, this is it, and there it is. But at the same time, you need to have some sort of conclusive evidence that says, yeah, it's in, and you need to be able to kind of eliminate that gray area because there's a lot of gray area in hockey. No, the glowing puck is not going to help. That's not going to help. I did love.
No, but I'm glad that was brought up because a lot of people, their first thought would be, because even guys like Brian Leach used to criticize the Fox Tracks puck. That he used to say it was like a Toys R Us puck. I think that's what one of the lines I heard. But it's not necessarily the same case where now you can get that sensor that's in the puck.
And that's part of what I was going to get at. So the NFL, tennis, and the MLB have this system called Hawkeye. TJ Oshie talked about it the other night in a telecast. I think it was the Utah and Vegas game. And you need to bring that technology in and really make sure that you have everything definitively correct, because a call like that can't go down in the playoffs. I'm sorry, it can't. It can't be left to common sense and logic. It has to be confirmed. It cannot be. I understand the other side of it. Yeah, you figure 3 inches over, that's probably about 3 inches over, but there are optical illusions that can be created. And then when they brought in the line, there were other optical illusions that were created, and that led them to just scrapping the whole line thing. So now there's got to be something that can confirm it, and I think there can be. It's easy to do. It really is easy to do. I don't understand why they haven't done it yet. I don't understand what the holdup is, but this should have been done years ago because that Hawkeye system has been in existence for a while now. So get that done and make sure that situations like this don't happen in the playoffs ever again.
Yeah, because I got to tell you, it's a goal to me. It's a goal. I have no doubt in my mind it's a goal. That said, by the letter of the rules, I'm not sure if I could rule that a goal because it needs to be. First off, they should have never gotten rid of the green line. It should have been there. It should have been as soon as that puck is touching that line, that's there. I understand optical illusions, stuff like that, but there's also different camera angles you could throw on there. They should have something with the technology. That should be something that they should have been doing for a long time. Anthony, what were your thoughts on that puck that was under Tristan Jarry's skate?
The area from where the ref called it a goal, that part is the part to me that I, kind of disagree with. You're telling me he could see that puck was in from where he was. There's no way. That said, you look at the images. That puck was 100% in over the line. No doubt about it. So I don't have a problem with that being a goal. Puck was over the line. I get what the rule is, and you're talking about logic and whatnot, but that puck was in. So I think they made the right call. I disagree with the ref calling it a goal emphatically from where he was, because again, I don't think he could have possibly seen it. And maybe if he called it no goal on the ice, maybe at that point you can kind of play that fine line. Okay, well, it was ruled no goal. It's a little ambiguous. But other than that, no, that puck was in the net. There's really, it was a goal. It was over the red line.
Anthony, you're 100% about that because the refs weren't in place to make that call. They weren't. They made that conversation, and because of what you just said, you hit the nail on the head. Because they decided it's a goal, now you have to disprove it's not a goal. And you can use reasonable thought and go into that. It doesn't have to be clear cut. The other way around, you need to see that puck over the line. That's 100%, right?
I don't know how you can see that puck is fully over the line there, though.
To me,
where is the line in the picture in the images that they gave you?
I mean, you could pull up any picture right now. You'll see it. It was over the line. I don't think there's any debate about it.
I've viewed several things. There's no way that you can tell that thing is fully over the line at that point.
Now, they do have camera angles that they put into the posts. And they've been doing it for years.
If they have that, which they probably do, then share it with the public.
That would be a smart thing to do. And when does the NHL ever do anything smart?
Share it with the public. Because
All right, wait. Here's what Anthony's got right here.
It's not conclusive enough.
That puck's totally over the line. Come on, there's no way.
No, it's not totally over the line.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, because you can't tell that it's totally over the line by that image.
I think you can. If you take away his skate, there's no part of that puck that's on the red line. If you look where the steal is, look where the steal is on his skate. You're telling me the red line extends that far? Absolutely not. That's a goal. That puck is completely over the line.
No.
Well, Anthony, actually, can you send me that image? Can you text that to me? I'll see if I can get that in there.
It's a Google image. I don't.
I'll try Googling it because
I don't know how you can make that call. This is basically the same thing that happened in 2007 with the Rangers and the Islanders and the Sabres.
It's a tough way to say, but it's almost getting out by a technicality. But again, like Anthony brought up, because they ruled it a goal on the ice, they're saying that's a goal. If they said no goal,
how are you saying that it's definitively X amount of anyone who's saying this? I'm not calling out anybody in specific. Anybody who's saying it, how can you call that?
Because look where the red line is straight across and where his skate is in the puck. The red line doesn't just automatically dip down to where the puck is.
I'm not saying it automatically dips down. You can't see what's between it. You can't.
Well, yes, you're right. You can't physically see it, but logic on where it is, there's white.
Right. Holy shit, white. Is that accurate?
Oh, what?
He said it's hockey's Zapruder film.
In a way, yeah. And
yeah, Brian, I agree with him. That's a good half inch over the line. It just
I understand. No way of telling,
but it is
no way of telling.
Right now, I'm just trying to just do this as a magic eraser experiment to show people.
I have a friend say, "Oh, go and filter out the skate. Filter out the skate." Like,
and you can filter out the skate. There is a way of doing it.
There is, but you can't rely on that. You know, it's.
Well, this is where I'll go to this old axiom of don't rely on a play like this.
At that point.
Well, don't rely on a play like this for your playoff lives, because the Oilers have.
That's why I'm saying there needs to be the sensors.
Yeah, but the Oilers have far many more problems than whether or not this was a goal. They have nobody in net that could stop the puck. Congrats to Connor Ingram. He was able to have a game where he gave up one goal last night. But they turned to Tristan Jarry. This is your Tristan Jarry play. Because I always love it how Tristan Jarry just gets that puck to just go over the line is a big mistake. He did it against the Rangers in Game 7 of the first round in 2022. But then you get this. Let's be honest. There was going to be a puck going in, and you look at the play that happened in the Utah game versus Vegas, where Dave Jackson on the ESPN telecast says, "Oh, to me, it's onside. It's a good goal." They say it's no goal, citing that Eichel might have had his skate in the air, but it wasn't touching the line. My point of view, that's no goal. But again, there's going to be those controversies.
That's literally what I said. Literally what I said about this. And I was saying that they need to have sensors along that line. They need to bring back the line, and they need to have the sensors triangulate in the net over the line to make sure that if any bit of that puck touches, so make it a little more than 3 inches, make it like 3 and a fraction of an inch, and just that's it. But
keep in mind though, we're talking about doing that, Phil.
100% right on this. After the Jelinek call in 2004, after that call, well, that was a kick, really. But I do agree that after that call, after you have that much of a controversial call in a Stanley Cup final, then it's time to really start cracking down on these things. That was 22 years ago, but I mean, yeah, they should have started working on things like this back then.
Keep in mind though, if you try to put sensors into the ice, they have to be replaced after every Zamboniing. It's going to be hard to keep track of that. If there's sensors maybe in the net that would correspond with the chip and the puck, then maybe that could work. I mean, I'm spitballing. I'm not an engineer, but you can't, because again, to your point, Phil, if this is a Stanley Cup Finals, you can't have that happening.
You can't have that happen in the playoffs in general. It doesn't matter if it's a first round or a Stanley Cup Finals. It can't happen.
Well, I still have to say, Edmonton, it sucks for you, but have better goaltending for starters, because they were up 2-0 in that game.
Yeah, Wayne, that's what I was saying about the triangulation on that line. Like, have that be the line.
All right. But let's move on. Let's talk about some of the other series. Anthony, what about that Boston-Buffalo series? What do you got to say about that? And also, how about that Pastrnak game-winning goal?
Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful goal. He just cut back, tucked it in. Credit for the Bruins for fighting back and showing fight there. Again, they have to win 2 more games. It's going to be tough, but I think Buffalo is ultimately going to take the series.
Yeah, Phil, what do you think? Is it just a matter of time for Buffalo?
Yeah, I think Buffalo's going to take this series. I just don't think Boston has enough. Swayman's played great for the most part. Their defense has not been as good as I thought it would be. I picked Boston to win this in 7, but I just think Buffalo has too much depth, too much speed. Buffalo isn't backing down from Boston's physical play. Pasternak's been great, but he's only one man. He's only one man. And anybody that says, well, people who crap on McDavid or anyone like that, like, hockey's a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Gretzky didn't win until the guys around him came in and supported him out. Same with Lemieux. Lemieux didn't win until he had a cast of Hall of Famers. Like, look at the guys that he had when he won in 91 and 92. You had Stevens, you had Tocchet. Those guys aren't Hall of Famers, but they're damn close. Stevens would have been a Hall of Famer. Coffey, Francis, Barrasso, Hall of Famer. Yager, Mullen. Ray Bourque is another one, as Chris T points out here. Bourque played, 21 years in Boston? Or 20 years in Boston, and then a year and a half in Colorado, and he didn't win until Colorado brought in Rob Blake on that back end. And they won without Peter Forsberg. Remember that. Peter Forsberg missed most of the playoffs that year. So, or Nico Ovechkin. Took Ovechkin a decade to get his cup. But getting back to Pastrnak has been wonderful. He's incredible. He's one of the best players in the league, and he's showing why. But Boston just does not have enough depth. They don't have center depth. Pavel Zacha and Elias Lindholm are the guys that you're gonna supplant David friggin' Pastrnak with. As good as a move as Don Sweeney made by trading Justin Brazeau for Marat Kuznetsov, he's failed to address his center depth for years now since Patrice Bergeron retired. So it's on Sweeney to get some centers in here, or you're going to waste the rest of David Pastrnak prime and possibly not have the third greatest Czech player of all time not win a Stanley Cup. You had him for how many years? So
that's very well could happen. Tell you what, if Boston has another game like Game 4 where they couldn't get out of their own end, that was ugly in the first period of that game.
Oh yeah, that was bad. The stop he's already dead clip was like the perfect way to describe that.
Yeah, because that game was over at 3-0. Never mind at 4-0 when they already had that. So if Boston can somehow control their breakouts, maybe there's a Game 7 there. Anthony, we're going to go right back to you on Dallas versus Minnesota. Minnesota taking the lead with Matt Boldy having a great game last night, budding superstar that he is. What are your thoughts on that series?
Fabulous series, though. We think we all knew it was going to be a really good series. It's a shame that this was a first-round matchup. This had the makings of like a Western Conference final. But for me, I mean, this was a toss-up. I think they could have gone either way. Both teams were fantastic. Both teams have elite weapons. One of the things I'm kind of observing, which is what the Wild players had said about Dallas. They say that, at 5-on-5, they're controlling the play and that they can't hang with them. It's the power play where Dallas is making them pay. Their special teams have been really good, but I mean, I think, Dallas, I'm not going to count them out just because of how good they are, but it's going to be hard to beat a Minnesota Wild team, twice in a row now at this point. So yeah, fantastic series. It's lived up to everything for me, but I think Minnesota is ultimately going to close it out and win.
Phil, what do you think? Minnesota's going to close this one out?
I'm not going to sleep on Dallas. This series has gone back and forth. I'm going to stick with my prediction. I think I predicted Dallas in either 6 or 7. I did 2 different brackets. I did yours, and then I did Evans as well. But I do. I would love this, but we'll star that and we'll talk about that later. By the way, I do wonder if Minnesota can give Colorado problems with their defense. Their defense, I think, might be the best 6-man unit in the NHL right now. I absolutely love their top 4. I mean, Jared Spurgeon was, for a while, he was a legitimate top pairing defenseman. Maybe not a true number 1, but like a guy that played a lot of heavy minutes for a long time. Him and Jonas Brodin, I think, were their top pairing for a while in Minnesota after Ryan Suter kind of fizzled out and he wasn't himself anymore. And then, you have Hughes and Faber, Spurgeon and Brodin. And then on your third pairing, you've got a super solid number 5 in Middleton. Jacob Middleton's super underrated, if you ask me. And then Bogosian's a nice 6. Like, he brings you the physical play, the experience that everybody wants come playoff time. So, as Dwayne says here, hit the like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Dwayne. I do think that this is a team that is capable of pulling it off. When are we getting Rupe Hintz back? Has there been any update?
I would love to know. How is it Dallas always has one superstar that's missing every single playoff game?
Yeah, I don't understand it. Dallas is not at full strength right now, and they're still in this series. If they can get Rupe Hintz back for either of these 2 games, if it does go to a 7th game, yeah, I do like it. I mean, Zuccarello being healthy is key for Minnesota. Like, I know your center depth is bad there, but the wing depth is really, really good with Zuccarello there. Their wing depth is one of the better units in the league with Zuccarello in the lineup. And obviously, as Ranger fans, we've seen what Zuccarello can do in the playoffs. Like, he does take his game to another level in the playoffs. And, for a guy that's not overly big or not overly fast, he just plays playoff type hockey. Like, that's just one guy that isn't scared of the moment or the physicality. And you've got to love Matt Zuccarello for that. So I'm going to stick with my prediction just because I do think Dallas finds a way. But as Brian said here, Otter got in his own head last night. Otter's got to sit there and really keep focus and not get in his own head and not get rattled. Because if he gets rattled, I mean, that's it for Dallas.
Well, after all, that's the reason why Dallas lost last year. Otter let in 2 goals, whether or not they were his fault or not. And then, again, the Pete DeBoer decision still don't understand.
Nico, I've been wrong on so much over the years that I would run out of apologies to give. So
that's why we always brag when we're right, by the way.
Yeah, when we get them right, we do like to celebrate it a little bit just because it's kind of rare. So.
We'll go to tonight's games first. Speaking about ones where I was wrong, there was this one, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I said Pittsburgh in 6. I thought experience would triumph over the youth. Anthony, I am very wrong on it so far, but that series is still alive.
Yeah, it is. Pittsburgh, is showing their experience and their compete level. Philly again, similar to Anaheim, which I think it was just you and I talking about that, Mark, before. But they're inexperienced, that Philly team. So Pittsburgh is not going to lay over and die, especially for a rival. And you're seeing it. And when you're down 3-0 and then you win a couple of games, it starts to get in the head a little bit of the other team, like saying, okay, are we blowing this? And you grip your sticks a little tighter. So for Philly, it's imperative, and I know this is obvious, but it's imperative that you finish them off, because if you lose and then you go back to Pittsburgh in a game 7, now at that point it's anyone's game and anyone's series. And Pittsburgh, you have to give a little bit of an advantage to Pittsburgh just because of A, momentum, and B, they'd be on their own home ice. So if Philly loses game 6, I think it might be it for them. It would be hard to recover from. Oddly enough, Philly is one of the 3 or 4 teams to ever come back from being down 3-0. So now they're on the flip side of maybe it happening to them. So I don't want to get too far ahead, but this is turning into a series, and Pittsburgh isn't going away. So I'll say Philly still wins, but I do think if you're a Flyers fan, you're worrying a little bit.
By the way, Anthony, the second team to come back from a 3-0 deficit was your New York Islanders, and the team they did that to was Colin Campbell and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So it's interesting to see whether or not Pittsburgh could flip the script on that now. But as I put in there before in the opening, Pittsburgh saying, "No, I'm not dead," and Philadelphia insisting he'll be stone dead in a moment. Phil, is that going to be the case? Are they going to finish him off, or we're looking at a game 7 in Pittsburgh?
I think they're going to finish them off. I don't see how you can lose 3 games in a row. Like, if you're Philly, you got to just get back to the basics and simplify the game. Matvei Michkov cannot be healthy scratched.
Oh God.
I look back to Mike Keenan and what he did with Brian Leach. Like, there is a time and a place for everything. That's got to stop. Like, I don't know what he did. Like, there were rumors about, I guess, missing a flight or something like that. I don't know if that was a parody account. But you can't have that now. Like, this is where you go behind the scenes and you kind of hammer it out with them and just say, hey, you know what? This can't happen. I'm gonna, like, right now, we're gonna address that at a later point in time, but not right now. You are on the verge of winning your first series in what, 8 years, I think.
They haven't won since.
So it was 2018 when they won, or
no, they lost to the Penguins in 2018.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think they've won a series since 2012.
I mean, this has got to change.
Well, you said the Flyers haven't won a series since 2012.
No, I thought it was after that.
No,
they played in 2014. I know that they played the Rangers in the first round.
They played the Islanders in the second
round.
Oh,
thank you, Anthony. Yeah, they played the Islanders in the second round. My bad.
Yeah.
That's the bubble tournament.
Yeah,
that's the one that, like, everybody memory holds.
They won a series during AV. Brian.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It still feels weird that Alain Vigneault coached the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, but they all get around apparently. So whatever. It's listen, Dwayne, you're not wrong here. Like he's been up and down, and I get it, but there's got to be a way to address that without pulling one of your best offensive talents out of the lineup especially when you're having trouble scoring goals. What I would have done personally is with what John Harbaugh just did with Malik Neighbors and the whole Arvell Reese situation. If anybody's been paying attention to that, Malik Neighbors on a podcast, basically questioned how the Giants were going to use Arvell Reese. And then what does John Harbaugh do? John Harbaugh comes in like a responsible, cool, calm, and collected adult and says, instead of shutting Malik Neighbors down and basically saying, step out, he basically says, I will explain to you how I'll use him. If you want to come talk to me, come talk to me. But he explains how he's going to use them and then tells Malik Neighbors that, anytime that he wants to come in and has a question about something, he can come talk to the coach. That's how you do it. There are ways to get through to players. And in a situation like this, I wouldn't feel comfortable benching one of my best offensive talents. I mean, there's got to be a way that you could get through to this guy without just pulling him out of the lineup and just say, oh, hey, yada, yada, yada. You're benched because you're doing this and that. Talk to him. Talk to him. See what's going on. But I do feel if Philly does not close this out, then once it goes to Game 7, I think Pittsburgh's winning.
Yeah, because here's the thing right now, and I think it still takes Game 6 to win. Obviously, it does. I mean, that's stupid to say otherwise. But once Dan Vladar kicked that puck in, puck luck started to go Pittsburgh's way. And now you look at that with Game 4 that looked like it was a set play for the Crosby goal. And maybe Pittsburgh found something in Philly. And maybe also luck is on their side. And maybe there's chinks in the armor of Dan Vladar where there weren't any in the first 3 games. So now you can look at Pittsburgh. Maybe they can rally from this. Going from to Skinner to Shelovs, look, all due respect to Stuart Skinner on this one, I don't think he was the reason why Pittsburgh went down 0-3. But Shelovs has got a little bit more of a playoff pedigree, winning a series for Rick Tocchet and the Vancouver Canucks.
I don't know about that. I disagree with that. Skinner has played literally in a Stanley Cup Finals. Like, you can't sit there and say that Shelovs has more pedigree. I don't think Shelovs is a better body of work.
I was saying that Rick Tocchet probably trusts him more.
That's different than pedigree.
Okay. Then I misused the word pedigree.
You can say pedigree means there's a better body of work and a better falling back on. That's just objectively false. The stats and the games and everything like that and where they played at tells you that. But I mean, you might be right that Tocchet trusts him more. I'm not gonna sit there and
actually, I just I just said Tocchet. I just messed that up, and he's a Pittsburgh goalie, idiot. Shelovs is the Pittsburgh goalie. Tocchet was coaching. Tocchet's coaching against him. Dan Muse, I meant to say. Well, no, it's okay. Well, I realized that I pushed us down that road, Philk. But Stuart Skinner, he hasn't had those Stuart Skinner gaffes in this postseason, but Arthur Shelovs might be the better answer, and he might work better with what they're trying to do. All right, we're going to try to wrap up these next 3 and then get Anthony back for bar talk. But let's get to we have 4 more. We're going to go rapidly. The Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Montreal Canadiens tonight, Game 5. Phil, what are your thoughts on the first 4 games, and what are you seeing in Game 5?
One word can sum this up. Do you know what word I'm going to use? You want to
Epic.
take a guess? Oh, I mean, that's a good one, but that's not the word. The word that I was thinking of was bloodbath.
Yeah.
Because this has just been war. It's been an absolute war. This series has been, I guess, everybody's favorite. Yeah, lots of hatred, as Josh pointed out there. I love what's going on in this series. I love the back and forth. I love everything that they're doing. I love Brandon Hagel becoming a WWE or a pro wrestling heel, whatever you want to call it, and just saying, I'll be the bad guy. He's basically pulling his Scott Hall pain. Lots of pain too.
Yeah.
I think Brandon Hagel should come out to the Razor Ramon theme and with like dressed up with the gold chains and the vest and have the toothpick out of his mouth and just have the music on and just throws toothpick at the Montreal fans, because that is what he is doing right now. Or you can have him come out like $1 Million Man or Ric Flair or someone like that and just be an arrogant, cocky heel, or ravishing Rick Rude, whatever you want to use. But he has literally become a heel in wrestling, and the bad guy, basically. And it's just, he's embracing it. He's taken the spotlight. And not only that, but he's the best. He's been the best player in the series for my money. Like, he's been all over the place. And this is a guy that I've criticized over the years as, not being as good as people make him out to be, because he's more of a complimentary player. If he's a complimentary player, he's the best complimentary player in the league, like, bar none. Like, he's really proved himself as an upper echelon type player. Where you want to place him, have fun with that. But I would love this. The whole 1997 Bret Hart and Hart Foundation thing with Bret turning heel was one of the best storylines in wrestling at that time. So that would be so good.
I look at this series. This is the most evenly matched series, and it says something because we got 3 evenly matched series going on back and forth. This series, don't think it's over. Just never think any game, any one of these games are over. 3 overtime games, 1 game that didn't go to overtime. The game-winning goal was scored in the final 5 minutes. So basically, it was almost like an overtime winner. That's just how incredible this series has been, what it's going to continue to be. Tonight, I wouldn't expect anything but an overtime game. And is this going to be that series that, quote unquote, teaches the Montreal Canadiens how to be champions? You always hear that. You got to lose before you win. You got to learn how to win, or whatever euphemism or saying you want to go with. Now, what I will say for this is it also looks like Tampa, every time I'm just like, Tampa's going to get blown out in this game. It's a 4-1 game or it's a 5-1 game. Nope. I thought the game was over Sunday night when Caulfield scored. Sure enough, Gensel makes that play, makes it 2-1. Great pass from Mosier. And then I think the hit on Slavkovsky, we'll get to those hits in a moment. And then look at where this series is right now. Just wow is the best way to say it. And in a way, same thing with Vegas and Utah. You talk about, I went into it a little bit when you guys went off camera, but you got Vegas. They go and they absolutely storm the net. Carl Vejmelka holds the fort. In the meantime, everything Utah shoots on net on Friday night goes in. So what does Vegas do on Monday night? They end up putting everything that they got, shooting it all, and they build up a 3-0 lead. What happens? Utah comes back, makes it 4-3. Vegas ties it, and then the winner in overtime by Shea Theodore. After the disallowed goal, which could have taken the wind out of Vegas' sails. I'm looking forward to see who's going to win this game tonight, Phil.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, Utah, whatever happens with this series, and I pick Vegas to win, but whatever happens with this series, I am thoroughly impressed with Utah. Thoroughly impressed. I am impressed with Dylan Guenther. I am even more impressed with Logan Cooley, because that guy has had a target on his back from game 1. And he even had Nick Dowd. We talked about that, what he said.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I know he's channeling his inner Milan Lucic on Dale Weiss, but you have that target on Cooley's back. And what does he do? He comes back and he fights back, and he just plays harder. Like, that is just a kid you want on your team, man. Not only the offensive talent, but like some of the moves he's made for goals that he hasn't converted on have been real eye openers. Like, this kid's just, he's one of the next great American stars in the making, if you ask me. And yeah, absolutely, Josh. Absolutely. They made the right additions. They go and they make the big trade for Sergachev, and everybody's like, what the hell are you guys doing? What are you doing? Like, you're not ready for that. No, Sergachev comes in and he becomes their number 1 defenseman, and he's been a rock for them. I mean, they go and they add Ian Cole. People are like, why are you adding a guy like Ian Cole? Because let's face it, everybody needs those guys come playoff time. You need your Ian Coles. And I know Ian Cole bumped Vemelka and caused him to lose his stick. But yes, Mackenzie Weegar, another great addition. Sean Dursey, John Marino. They fortified their defense with the right guys. Now they just need an addition to come in on defense, and really a young addition like a Simashev, someone like that, to come in and really kind of fill out that defense and make it that much better. But they have all the right pieces in place, and whatever happens, this team is such a bright future, and they're going to be scary for years, especially if Vemelka can stay like a top 15 goalie in the league. Like, if you're getting that level of play out of Vemelka going forward, you have the makings of a perennial contender, like a perennial cup threat going forward, especially with the developments of Gunther and Cooley and Nick Schmaltz just still being super underrated. Probably the most underrated player in the league right now, Nick Schmaltz. Clayton Keller might be the most underrated superstar player. Guys constantly a point per game or better, and nobody talks about him as one of the best in the league, which he is. But, I mean, yes, but it's not just the location, it's ownership. Ryan Smith came in and just took over, and he has made sure that everything has been running smoothly from top to bottom. So hats off to Ryan Smith and Ashley Smith. They've done a great job with them. You thought that maybe they would be able to get the Utah Jazz to win, but the West is just a madhouse in the NBA. But yeah, this is a well-run team. Kudos on Ryan Smith for saving that franchise. I hope that the Coyotes can come back one day under better ownership, not Alex Morello, because what he did was terrible. But I hope the Coyotes can come back one day too. But love what's going on in Utah.
Okay, so we're gonna just go through. We're just gonna say we're gonna cover these in a minute in the pickup segment, because we're gonna do the early pickup segment just as we did last week. But you get Carolina that they complete the sweep Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday Colorado completes the sweep on the LA Kings. We're gonna go more into both of those series in a moment, but we just also want to put this back up and say, Dwayne, go ahead, take your victory lap. You deserve it. Because I thought this series was going 6. I thought there was more fight in Ottawa. Honestly, there is a lot of credit to Carolina. Let's give some credit to Carolina. We're going to in a minute. But you can't tell me Ottawa looked like a well-oiled machine at any point in this series. That is for certainly not true. All right. So let's go and let's get the pick segment going and start some Big Apple hockey pickups.
I've got a gut feeling.
You want me to do 2 things? Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. Now shoot!
Well, yeah, that's like your opinion, man. Well, here's our opinions on it, because let's talk about some of the things that there were eye-opening moments in the first round. We're still not even through the first round yet. So, Philk, better hit Mosier on Slavkovsky or Clevin on Nikishin?
Wow. I mean, I don't really know if there's a correct answer for this. I don't. Those are 2 wonderful hits, both clean, textbook.
Yes.
I don't know. You did spell Nikishin wrong, by the way. That's
okay.
I do know.
Well, let's fix that.
Get rid of the S at the beginning, because that's wrong.
Oh, okay. That was a typo. You got to pick one.
I don't think that was charging. I really don't think that was charging. He does let up. I don't think either of those hits were charges. Yeah. Slavkovsky. All right, you guys are all saying that, like, he was seeing stars, or that is he's saying a different name. I'm gonna go Clevin on Nikishin by the very slimmest of margins, but both of those guys were messed up. Both of them were messed up from those hits. Slavkovsky left the game for a while and came back, but I'll give a slight edge to Clevin.
I got to go Clevin because just Nikishin was in another world. Like, I think Clevin hit him so hard, and it's not just because he's wearing 43, everybody, but Clevin hit him so hard, it looked like he knocked his soul out of his body. That's how well that hit was. Like, even Maria looked at me because we were watching the game at the moment and just went, wow, what a hit. And again, it was a clean hit. It was very much a clean hit. Nikishin lost the puck for a second in his skates, and that's all it took. He did get it away from him, but he was already committed to the hit. There was nothing you got to do on that. Let me say this about the Slavkovsky hit. Yeah, he kind of turns back into the hit, and that's one thing that happens. I think one reason why a lot of people are kind of looking at the Slavkovsky hit and thinking what they're saying right now in the comments, it kind of was a little bit reminiscent of Mike Tyson looking for his mouthpiece against Buster Douglas. Like, he was a little bit out. Not as bad as what the other hit was. Like, Nikishin barely could get off the ice. So Ottawa Senators didn't have a lot of fine moments. And then Ridley Gregg just kind of brought him down a little bit more. How he's not suspended or fined right now for next season is beyond me. Because he, after all, he was punching somebody, yes, with his glove on. That's much worse than your fist. And there was already in a headlock. So be nice if George Paros would actually do his job. All right. Phil, we talked about all the evenly matched series. I want to know which one is the best one. And you got to answer Tampa Bay versus Montreal, Minnesota versus Dallas, Utah versus Vegas.
I'll give you two answers here. I'm going to give you what I think is the best, what my favorite's been. The best one, I think, has been Tampa Bay and Montreal.
Agreed.
That's the one I think that's going to get everybody in, and that's going to suck everybody in. That even casual fans, I think, would love to start watching more hockey if hockey was like that. My favorite, personally, has been Utah and Vegas. I just think that series has been just as good, but I think there hasn't been the level of violence and hatred that there's been with Tampa Bay and Montreal. Minnesota and Dallas has also been a very good series. It's right there. There's no wrong answer here again, but I just think that Tampa Bay and Montreal is a series that I would probably show to a casual fan that I'm trying to get into hockey. Utah and Vegas has just been my favorite.
I'm going to just echo everything you just said. And there is nothing wrong with saying any of these series. But Minnesota-Dallas, great series. Their blemish is the 6-1 game. That first game. There was no hope for Dallas. The rest of the series, fantastic. That's what you expect out of two heavyweights. Tampa Bay, so I'll get to Tampa Bay, Montreal one second. Utah and Vegas, it's been good, a little bit sloppy at times, but it's also got more raw emotion in there. And just look at game 4. That's all you need to know. So now let's go to the Tampa Bay Montreal series. Big hits, great goaltending, a heel like Brendan Hagel, and you got the team that's the up-and-coming team in the NHL versus the team that was the champion that wants to prove that they still got it. And lastly, if you need to throw more hate in a series, add Corey Perry. And that's where you just go with that. That's where Tampa Bay, Montreal, that's the series I'm going to pick as the best one. But let's go to better first round performer. And one guy is done playing, the rest aren't. And that's Logan Stankoven, Brendan Hagel, or Jackson Lacombe.
Brendan Hagel. And you spelled it wrong.
Wait, what do you mean?
Brandan. It's O-N.
You bastard.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the A there.
No, because I actually had it.
I gotta go Brendan Hagel. And Logan Stankoven was somebody I liked in Dallas. That line's probably been the best line in the playoffs right now. I just think that they took advantage of some favorable matchups, and they went out there and they beat the team that they should have beaten. Kudos to them for that. But for me, it's Brandon Hagel. Brandon Hagel's facing tougher matchups on a nightly basis, and he has been the guy on a team that has Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point. Like, I don't even know. I honestly, I don't think this is much of a debate. And this is where I would say there's a wrong answer. Brandon Hagel literally has 6 goals and 7 points in 4 games. He's leading the postseason in goals right now. And not only that, but he has been such a lightning rod that he is getting into Montreal's heads. He is doing that. If Montreal had a healthy Victor if Tampa had a healthy Victor Hedman, this series might be close to over right now with the way that Brandon Hagel's playing. And Jackson Lacombe, I had questions about him getting that contract. I thought they paid him a little too early, paid him a little too much, a little too early, but he's been very good. He's been very good. He's played tough minutes in the playoffs so far. He's averaged just under 27 minutes per game, and he's leading the NHL in assists in the postseason right now. He has 7 in 5 games, 8 points. So, yeah, I would say Hagel, like this is close in some regards, but I think Hagel's kind of here. I think he's just, what a series he's having.
I'm sorry. Hagel's having a great series. I'm going Logan Stankoven. Every time he touched the puck, he changed the game. Or shot the puck, I should say. The 4 goals of that series, a goal in each game. And when it came time for the Canes to finish them, who ended up stepping up? Logan Stankoven. I thought he outshined the first line. I mean, Aho didn't even need to do much in that series, and neither did anybody, because maybe Stankoven might be the key to reversing the curse, so to speak, in Carolina. But also maybe his line mate might be another thing. We're going to talk about him later on in the bar talk. But I love the way they played, and it's not saying any knock on any of the rest of these guys. Jackson Lacombe is playing absolutely phenomenal right now, and Brendan Hagel has been a thorn in the Canadian side. So I am going to go Stankoven. I thought he had more than one game winner in this series, but every time it came time for the Canes to score, Stankoven stepped up. Which leads me to, which was the better sweep, Carolina or Colorado?
Carolina, they played a better team. They did a good job on Ottawa. You got to give credit where credit is due. They did a good job on Ottawa, although I do think that series could have gone the other way had guys like Tim Stützle converted on their chances. Like Stützle really, you only got that 1 goal, and he had several chances to convert in that series. He just didn't. What was it, game 4, where he had the breakaway? Not game 4. It was game 3, where he had the breakaway in overtime, or was it? Was that game 3 or game 2? I'm trying to remember here. My mind's just clouded up right now. But he had a breakaway in overtime, and he hit a post and sent it through the crease. Like literally, that could have swung that series in a different direction. I'm not saying Ottawa would have won, but Carolina, Ottawa had their chances. It's not like they didn't have their chances, and their power play just wasn't good. I think one power play goal in the entire series.
That's right, Drake Batherson.
Yeah, Drake Batherson. That was in game 3 or 4, I believe.
Game 4.
Game 4, yeah.
Game 4.
So, but you gotta look at Colorado played great against an LA team, and they showed they could play low event hockey. Cool, but that LA team had no depth. They had no depth, and the only guy that was doing anything for them was Panarin. So, for me, it's Carolina. If Colorado didn't sweep LA, I actually would have been disappointed. I would have been like, okay, like maybe there's some chinks in the armor with Colorado, but they got done what they had to get done. In Carolina, I mean, I thought that series would have gone 6, maybe even 7, because I thought Ottawa was going to give them a lot more of a fight, but their main guys just couldn't get it done. So Carolina for me.
Yeah, I think Carolina initially answered all the questions that they needed to early on. They needed to have a short series. They needed to play their game. And Ottawa was the better team marginally by going in, because you'd think it's Ottawa. They got the top end talent, and there were times where they looked dominant towards the end. And LA kind of got in, beating up on bad teams and having all the loser points to get in there. First, let me say this about Colorado, and that LA basically tried to say, all right, we're going to slow this down. We're going to play low event hockey. Like, I mean, I think game 1, there was basically no highlights in the game recap video, but there was basically Colorado just looked at them and went, you want to play low event? We could play low event too. And that's what they did. They never really tried to open it up. Colorado kind of went off, played LA's game, shoved it right back in their face, and then that was it. The difference between these two series, Carolina never trailed in the series at all. Not once. And out of all the sweeps I've ever seen, and I'll include Dallas over Nashville in 2022, this one might be the most impressive, because when you never trail in a game, that just says how much you dominated your opponent. And I give all the credit to Carolina. Now, I think it was the Dylan Cousins goal that Freddie let up that made you go, it's a typical Freddie goal. But sure enough, Carolina just buckled down, and that was it. Jordan Martinook, similar situation, had a OT winner, I think, taken away, and then was able to go and get it back later on in that OT. So I'm happy with what I've seen out of Carolina. My question still is, as the playoffs go on and they get more physical, can they keep this up? And let's see if there's not that Freddie goal that goes in that's going to change everything. So that's where questions have to be answered by Carolina. One question left that needs to be answered in our pick'em segment. Better LA athletes over their time in LA. In LA, Phil. LA. Anze Kopitar, Matt Stafford, or LeBron James?
What? How is this even? How is this? All right, get the hoop. Get the hoop. Okay. It's Kopitar.
It's Kopitar, yeah. Well,
come on.
It's made for us to rave about Kopitar.
By design. Okay, so LeBron has been in LA for 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his 8th year in LA. Okay, cool. He has what? One
championship, one NBA Cup.
Don't miss me with the NBA Cup.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I get the hoop, please. It's Kopitar. Like, it's not even close. All right. So Anze Kopitar, and I put this on Twitter the other day. By the way, you are cracking Johnny up right now. Like you were just cracking him up.
Oh, good. It is to do this.
Here would have Kobe Bryant would have been the better answer.
Okay, but here's the thing: if I try to pick Kobe, Kobe beats out Kopitar. Clayton Kershaw beats out Kopitar, even with everything Kopitar's done. I still think Kopitar, Koufax, and Kobe. Because then, all right, if you do this all time, or even if let's say you just do this century, Kopitar has to compete against Shaq. He's got to compete against Sean Green. People forget how good he was.
Wait, this century, then you're eliminating some of Shaq.
Some of Shaq, not a lot, but still Shaq is there.
So Shaq joined them in what, 97, I think?
97. I think it was the same day as Wayne Gretzky going to the Rangers. But
96, 97 was his first year in LA. So I just don't I just don't see how this is any bit close. Like, I get what you're doing now. But
keep in mind, Matt Stafford came in and won a Super Bowl in his first year.
Okay, cool. Anze Kopitar has won 2 Stanley Cups. He's led the playoffs in scoring both of those times. He's won 2 Selke trophies. He's one of the best two-way players of all time. He is basically Mr. King. You could say Gretzky put the Kings on the map. Kopitar is Mr. King. Kopitar holds the records now. Like, he is the guy there. There's no way around it now. Like, you talked about how Luke Robitaille was Mr. King for a while, despite Gretzky putting them on the map. Now it's Kopitar. He is the guy there. Like, there should be a statue for him outside of Crypto, whatever. I still want to call it Staples Center, but whatever.
Ponzi Scheme Arena, as it was called, the Naked Gun.
Ponzi Scheme. Okay, well, I guess that's a knock at Bruce McNall, but like, it just, you got to realize that what Anze Kopitar did is probably the most overlooked thing of all time in hockey. He played at such a high level of two-way hockey that we have barely seen that from anybody. Sergei Fedorov did it for like a 3-year span where he played that level. Doug Gilmour did it for like 2 years. Like, Anze Kopitar did it for an extended period of time. Everybody will talk about, Patrice Bergeron is the best two-way player ever. No, he's not. He has the most Selke trophies, but Patrice Bergeron never cracked 80 points in a season. And he had one season where he was on pace for maybe like 90 points. And that didn't come until David Pastrnak cemented himself as a superstar in the NHL.
Yeah.
He needed Pastrnak, and Marchand too. Marchand was a good complementary player before David Pastrnak came along and said, I'm the next great Czech superstar, and really kind of just threw himself out there. Kopitar was probably the best all-around player in the Cap era. All around. You could talk about Crosby, how he's been the best. Yeah, I would agree with you. Until McDavid came along, and then McDavid kind of taken over. McDavid is now on a top 5 all-time trajectory. But it's Kopitar when it comes to the most complete player. And maybe Alex Barkov has a chance to change that, but it's Kopitar. Guy can give you 80 to 90 points, Selke caliber defense. He's a playmaker, guy that scored 35 goals plus. There is no more of a complete player, especially in a guy that's like 6'3", 6'4", and 225 pounds. Like, if you want a center to build your team around, that's the guy you can do it with.
Yeah, and again, do you think Kopitar gets a little bit underrated because of being a European, because being in front of Jonathan Quick in his prime, who a lot of people consider possibly the greatest American goalie ever, and playing with Drew Doughty, who a lot of people considered to be the best defenseman for a bunch of years? I mean, I don't think you could ever underrate this guy. That this guy is that good and that good of a person. Even in his retirement speech, he even kind of gave leeway over to Clayton Kershaw and saying, yeah, you know, I guess this is the one that everybody wants to pay attention to today. Like, I mean, this is a guy that LA embraced, and he has done such a great job with them. Look, I was trying to come up with a fair comparison because I can't put him against Kobe. I can't put him against Kershaw. And I mean, again, there's other guys that were in there. At best, I could get to 3. These were a little bit more comparable. So that's just what I got for that one. Also, Phil, got to talk about this, but Kenny Albert breaking a record. Let's get off of this one. Let's get back to sharing this one right here. The most broadcasts by an announcer ever. And just Kenny, we always talk about how great he is. There it is. I got it right here. Kenny, the most broadcasts of anyone all time. You look at them, almost 570 NHL, 446 MLB, 530 NFL games. Like, that's just amazing to think about. And he's the announcer for the New York Rangers now, so now you're going to get plenty of that. And the NHL on TNT. He also still does the NFL on Fox, and he was doing baseball on Fox. I don't know if he does it anymore. But Phil, your thoughts on Mr. Albert's reign as one of the most reliable announcers ever?
Is he the greatest of all time? Because he's got to be up in that discussion if he isn't already. I mean,
I think he has to be for this reason, Phil. I think he's the Swiss Army knife of announcers.
Oh, that's 110% accurate. He's
when you think about him, yeah, I had the pleasure of interviewing him back in 2014.
He's the guy that I wanted to be. When I was younger, he's the guy that I wanted to be.
Now, but you look at him. So I had the pleasure of asking him this one question: if there's an event that he would ever want to do. I forgot his answer. I'd love to get him back on and ask him the same question again. So I'd love to see him announce a World Cup game. Because that would be World Cup of soccer, not hockey. But he was so versatile that, first off, he was getting TV jobs left and right. He was still doing the Rangers on the radio. And he could have easily just said, no, you know, I'm not doing it. No, instead, that's what Kenny does. He announces. And he's just, as you see with the Henrik Lundqvist clip that went around from his first game, all Kenny's notes on there. He could do a hockey game on the radio, a baseball game on TV, and then a football game on TV the very next night, and to have that be the nationally televised game. That's how versatile this guy is. He could fill in for a Knicks game. He could do basketball too. Dare I say it? I'm tempted to say it, Phil. It's very hard because to me, Marv Albert is still the voice of the NBA in my mind. But I think he even eclipses his dad. I think he's that good. And he doesn't have a niche because he's good at everything. That's what I just blows my mind.
Yeah, I think he's better than his father was. I think his father was perfect for basketball.
Which, by the way, he was the radio announcer for the New York Rangers for years.
Yes.
Most specifically, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals in 1994.
Yes. And he was good at hockey. Don't get me wrong. I just think he was perfect for basketball. Like,
well, yeah.
There's literally just no better of a fit. Like, I mean, he might be the greatest that's ever done basketball. But Kenny is the Swiss Army knife. Like, I'm going to make an analogy, and I think there's a lot of wrestling fans in here that are going to understand this. Kenny Albert is the Macho Man Randy Savage of broadcasters. He's got a claim to be the greatest of all time. He's right near the top. He's just a great fit He's a household name, and he is the most methodical of anyone that has probably ever done it. Like, if anybody has ever watched videos about how Ricky Steamboat had Randy Savage called up Ricky Steamboat and basically had him up until about like 4:00 in the morning in a notebook going move for move of how they were going to plan that WrestleMania 3 match out. Like, Kenny Albert is that way. He is that level of methodical. And that's part of why I make that comparison. Because it just, he's viewed by many as the greatest. He's also one of the most recognizable names that you can think of when it comes to sports broadcasting and everything. And he's just a guy that just, there's a method to his madness. And I don't even know if you want to call it madness, just because of the fact that it's done so intricately, but like he's just, to every little detail is just like microscopic, just details, just gets down to the very nitty gritty, and he's amazing. He is.
I mean, when you think about guys that have done multiple sports, and you think about the great announcers of all time, you could attach them to one sport definitively. You could attach Mike Emmerich to hockey. You could attach Al Michaels to football, even though Al Michaels is also one of the most versatile ever, because you could think about all the ones that he's ever announced. But you get to guys like Summerall football. You could talk about Joe Buck or even Jack Buck for baseball. But Kenny can do everything and do it all at the level of the greatest that have ever called any sporting event. And congrats to you, Mr. Kenny Albert. We'd love to have you on. Keep saying this over and over again. But this is it's great that he's got the record. I just can't help but look at it, Phil, and go, what, that's it? I figured he has double the games that are on there. There's only 1,500 plus events he's got on there. I figured he had at least 3,000. That's how much I think he's the hardest. There's only one person to compare with how hard he works, and that's our own Mr. Jim Behringer, because Jimmy's everywhere, and you can find him all the time, everywhere. So, guys, just before we do bar talk and go on there, and I'm gonna pull out Anthony his window right there. Let's do this. Let's get let's share this screen, because as you all know, next Tuesday is the NHL Draft Lottery. This is our final Tankathon Draft Lottery sim. Bilk, are you nervous? Do you think the New York Rangers could pull it off and get the number one lottery pick?
I hope so. I really do. I don't think that's happening. I just hope they're top 3.
All right. Well, let's see where they are. This is it. In our opinion, this is where it lands until it lands for real. Here we go. The New York Rangers won the draft lottery.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Well, the other big news would be out of this one, Ivor Stenberg.
Let's go.
Yeah, it doesn't mean a single thing. Let's see if this will actually work towards the real draft lottery this week. But Ivor Stenberg would be going to Winnipeg, who jumps up 5 spaces. Chase Reed going to the Vancouver Canucks. Keaton Verhoff. Let's see if that move works out. Going to the Blackhawks. And Caleb Malhotra going to the Calgary Flames. I'm not sure if his dad ever played for them. So
who does it have? The
Islanders taking. I just exited out of it, so I have to go back to that now.
Daxon Rudolph, probably.
Yeah, probably. I missed it, Anthony. I'm sorry.
No, Adam Novotny.
Well,
Novotny's
I don't
not
know.
a bad player. You come away with a player like that, I mean, should be pretty happy.
All right. Well, let's see where the Rangers actually fall Tuesday. We think it's Tuesday, 8 o'clock. I'll be working, so I won't be able to have the reaction, but let's see whether or not we can get that up there. Let's do some NHL bar talk.
Let's kick it into high pace. Grab your mates, it's time to unlock NHL bar talk.
Layup, get the damn hoop.
We go shot here.
The easiest I've ever had to answer.
I'm actually going to go crazy. I'm going to buy everybody around.
We're all in this game, let the good times shake.
I know I say it all the time. I look like such a dork in that thing. I got to fix that. But thank God we got Anthony back for Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk, where we're gauging our confidence on NHL topics based on our choice to drink. So confident that you're buying around so soft beer or, oh God, I need a shot. Play along down in the comments below, everybody. And also, don't forget, it's Wing Wednesday over at Boss Croakers. Come on down, 40-cent wings, $2 tacos, $4 Miller Lights, or Yinglings. And guess what? Tonight, I'm going to be there because I'm working all the time now. So it's just the way it feels. Let's get down and let's get into the bar talk topics right now. Make sure you guys are playing along. Let's start with this one, because if you think about a guy on Vegas who was productive the other night, Brett Howden, who had 16 goals, 49 points, was a minus 29 with the New York Rangers in 178 games. But with Vegas, 311 games, plus 11, 114 points. And he's got 11 playoff goals. 3 of them are game winners, including, I know, the game 1 overtime winner in 2022 en route to a Stanley Cup. But, Philk, I got to ask you, Rangers gave up too early on Brett Howden.
Between a shot and a beer, I guess I'll go beer. I just don't see it. Like, I know the numbers are better in Vegas. He's played in better systems with better players in Vegas. He was relied on way too much here. David Quinn absolutely loved him for whatever reason. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player by any means, but I'm not like overly impressed. I still see the same player doing the same things. At times, he just looks better on a better team. So, I mean, I think David's right here, though. They traded him at the Seattle expansion draft. They were going to lose him anyway at that point. So, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I'll go beer just because maybe, I don't know, maybe with different coaching they could have unlocked something. But I think the complaints would have been the same. A fourth liner that's probably being played a little too far ahead of his stead, playing above his pay grade, whatever you want to call it, just because of the fact that, you know, he's a likable player with the coach, plays with intent and pace and all that other coach jargon that you hear, word salad, fluff, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically like Ty Cartier. They give up too early on Howden. Howden turns into a player. Seattle gives up a little too early on Cartier. Cartier, I don't think, is going to repeat what he's done this year because that shooting percentage is absolutely unsustainable. But I think that, you know, the player that they got is kind of like it's in the reverse set. It's the reverse way. You know, they got a player that fits in, and some players just play better in other teams in other markets, like Alexei Kovalev. Kovalev played some of his best hockey as a Ranger in that 94 playoff run. He never came close to playing that type of hockey in New York after that. And even when they got him back at the 03 deadline or before the 03 deadline from Pittsburgh, what does he do? He fumbles around and he's lazy in New York again. Some players just can't do it in certain places. So I'll go beer, but I honestly, this is a player that I just really don't even think about and don't even care or worry about. Nice player. Would he be an upgrade on the fourth line? Yes. Am I crying over spilled milk? Absolutely not.
Anthony?
Yeah, it's a beer. I mean, he's turned into a formidable player for Vegas on the fourth line. maybe could play on the third line for a little bit if just someone's out. But like folks, you're not going to cry over it. So be it. Yeah, I guess they probably did give up on him a little bit. But at the same time, sometimes players just need a change of scenery to flourish. That's just unfortunate, but the unfortunate part about it. You may like the player and see that he flourishes elsewhere, and you say to yourself, "Damn it!" But it happens. Par for the course.
I want a shot on this one. I don't think they gave up too early on him at all. I think they gave up at the right time. I think the role that he was meant to be is what Vegas got him for. And you got him you got him with a better coach with Bruce Cassidy. You got him in a spot where they needed a fourth line guy, and he was able to accept that role. You had David Quinn trying to force him into a bigger role, which he just wasn't good enough for. And he didn't play with guys that were good enough for that. That is also true, but he wasn't that guy. And it's nice to see him succeed in Vegas, but that's because that's where he fits. He didn't fit with the Rangers, sort of like what Phil said, and it wasn't going to happen here. But Anthony, you look over at the New York Islanders. The Islanders have $16 million slated for a cap space. We're just a little bit under that, but you could always use some more, especially in the economy these days. The Islanders will use a buyout this summer.
Under Lou Lamoriello, his tenure, the Islanders did not buy out a player. I just don't think he believed in it. But obviously, it's gone. Matthew Darche is at the helm. And I think this summer is going to go differently. I'm going to say round. And I say that because I think Andre Palat is going to be bought out. And it's not necessarily because they need cap space. I mean, they really don't. Darche is going to be able to do what he wants. But it's more so about a numbers game in terms of a roster spot. And the Islanders have a glut of forwards as it is. I mean, you already have an Anthony Duclair who they're going to try to trade, and they just have a lot of bodies. And then, not to mention, you have guys like Victor Eklund who's going to be knocking out the door. Cole Eiserman and just any other player that he may want to add via trade or free agency. So again, it's not about the money. They would be saving $3.3 million on the cap next season, and then a 1.6 charge the following year. But I think this is going to be just numbers motivated in terms of just how many guys on the roster. So yes, I'm going to say Plot will be bought out. Don't think anybody else. I don't buy any of the talk about Duclair. I don't think they're going to buy him out. I don't think they're going to buy out Mayfield as much as some fans would be open to that. I think there's really just one candidate here, and it's going to be Andre Palat.
Phil?
I don't think I can add anything else to that. This is a round. This is why we have Anthony, because Anthony literally has his pulse on the Islanders like nobody else I know does. I will say this. It comes down to whether or not Darche wants to admit in a mistake. And that's something that GMs sometimes have trouble with. Sometimes their egos can get in the way of admitting a mistake. But in this case, I think it's too much to ignore. Way too much to ignore. He finished the season with 15 points. That is the lowest total of his career outside in a full season. So his rookie is technically his first year was a 14-game cup of coffee, and he had 4 points. He would have been on pace for more than 15 points that year. This was his worst year by far. He was a -11 between two teams. He had 5 points in the 29 games with the Islanders, which was an improvement over his time with the Devils. But he went from played only about just over 10 seconds more per game with the Isles. But again, I think it's about Darche wanting to admit a mistake. And I think the buyout is easy enough to the point where they can admit that mistake. What's Darche's loyalty to Palat like? Because you got to remember, Darche was there for a while in Tampa with Palat there. His cap doesn't matter to the Islanders anyway.
Yeah, he's in a
buyout. It was an amnesty buyout.
Yeah.
So that really doesn't matter. But it's I wonder what the relationship is like between Darsh and Palat, and that really would be the determining factor for me. But I think when it's all said and done, I think Darsh is smart enough to admit his mistake. It's the fact that he made it and then went in for Shen again. I preferred Coleman over Palat. Again, you could talk about what the price would have been for Coleman. Probably would have been more. You wonder how much more. But I think Darsh will be smart enough to say, hey, we need to cut bait here.
Yeah, I think Darsh is going to be smart enough to say that. So I'm going to go a hat trick on this one, guys. Let's clean those hats off. And also just say it's around. Look, I think there's a little bit of pride and pragmatism when it comes to Lou Lamoriello. Maybe that could prevent him from buying guys out. Matthew Darsh is going to try to use that eraser on that pencil. And I think he's going to just go, look, we tried it didn't work. And maybe plan B was already the buyout. That's what they already had in place. As Anthony just said, you have a glut of youth coming up. That's going to start erasing some of these older players. So do that. And although I do have to caution one thing, maybe Pete DeBoer could get more out of him because who knows? I mean, he didn't play for exactly 2 elite level coaches. Now he's going to have one. So maybe that's the case. I do think they use it, though. I think it's for Palat. I think you're 100% right. Guys, let's look at a guy that didn't need any amnesty buyouts or anything like that, because every time he has moved on, they traded him to a different team, and that's Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall, the former first overall pick, he's been averaging 1.75 points per game so far in these playoffs. Bill, I'll start with you on this one. Taylor Hall will continue to produce at elite level for the Canes.
I am gonna. You know what? The way that line was against Ottawa, they were great. Ottawa just didn't have an answer for them. You know, and they're going to get the winner of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. They're going to be rested while Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, whoever it is, whether it's Philadelphia and it's 6 games, they close it out, or even 7 games, and they're going to be rested. The only thing is, does rust carry over? The problem I see with this is Taylor Hall is shooting at 14.3% right now. Stankoven actually leads the NHL in shooting percentage, I think, with a 22.2 in the playoffs so far. And I don't know if those numbers are sustainable, especially with time off. And this is a good question too. Does Hall have incredible chemistry with his line, or is it actually an elite line? I think that whatever your position is, whether you're a Canes fan, you're someone that doesn't like them, whatever the case, or you're just an outside hockey fan, I think that is a question that remains to be answered. I don't think there's a definitive answer either way on that. So say what you want about me and my views on them, but I do think that is determined, is still TBD. Whoever it is that they face in the second round, I can see Carolina beating that team. The Eastern Finals is really going to be the question. And that's where I really would take a look at that line and have them under a microscope, because they're going to be expected to produce, especially if guys like Aho and Svechnikov don't really get going for them. I mean, their numbers are okay, I guess. I mean, Aho's got 3 goals in 4 games. That's not bad. But Svechnikov has not really been the guy. You expect him to be, somebody. His numbers are actually abysmal. They're 0 points, -1 in 4 games, and he keeps taking dumb penalties, taking himself out of play. I don't like that. You want more from Seth Jarvis. Eric Robinson is a nice complementary piece that just goes out there every shift. I know Evan's been a big fan of him, Evan and Matt. But I don't know if that's sustainable. I don't. I look at the shooting percentages, and Sebastian Aho is shooting at – actually, he's shooting at 30. Why does it say that he's shooting at 30% and he's not the leader? They have Logan Stankoven, and maybe I guess there's a shot minimum or something. I'm not even sure, but I'm gonna go shot. I think at some point that number is gonna waver off a bit. I think the second round, I still think they can cause some havoc, but I don't know if I trust them come the Eastern Finals, depending on who they face.
Anthony?
If you're talking strictly next round, I would say round, because I think Philly and Pittsburgh, obviously they're not the best teams in terms of defending, although the Flyers have been good lately, but whichever team they play, their main priority is going to be like the Aho line, and Hall, Stankoven might get easier matchups. So I think they still have the capability of producing a good amount of points against either Pittsburgh or Philly. In the conference final is different. If they're getting Tampa Bay or if they're getting Buffalo, or it's going to be much harder. So yeah, if you're talking not just next round, you're talking about the entirety of the rest of the way, correct?
Yeah. So actually, I put up that round.
I'll say beer because of that.
My bad. I'll put that beer up for you. And the thing about Taylor Hall is, other than the year when he won the MVP, I still can't believe he won an MVP. But I'll say this: the man's like
that's why I said Aho's been okay. 2 empty net goals out of his 3, and then they're all in one game. Ottawa did a good job to hold him and Svechnikov in check. So you got to give credit for Ottawa for that.
But one thing I have to say about Taylor Hall is he's sort of like a ninja. When you see him, he's deadly, and then he could just disappear, and then you're like, what the hell just happened? So I'm going to go with beer on this one. I do think the key aspect of him is going to be if him and Stankoven can continue that chemistry. They looked pretty good in the first round. They're probably going to be looking pretty good no matter who they face, Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. That third round is just looming, and that's where I'm a little bit unsure of. All right. Let's go to the team that they beat in the playoffs, and that is the Ottawa Senators. Anthony, Brady Tkachuk in the playoffs, 0 points. Tim Stützle had 1 assist. There was the meme going around the internet about how you could call Brady Tkachuk 007, 0 goals, 0 assists, 7 penalty minutes. Wow. And because of that, Brady Tkachuk proved he is not a playoff performer.
Mark, what kind of... He's been in the playoffs 2 years. Do you know last year? Do you know what he had?
Yeah, 7 points. He dominated.
Over a point per game player. So what kind of question is this? No,
this is a layup. This is what this is. This is me literally serving this layup.
Why are we discussing something so silly?
Because the narrative going around hockey Twitter and hockey social media is suddenly Brady Tkachuk can't do this. I'll start this one, and I'll get this out there.
It doesn't matter.
It is a shot this is the biggest shot I think I've ever put out there. Because suddenly everybody forgot what he did last year. Are you kidding me? Because he had 1 bad series? Tim Stützle is supposed to be this great thing. He had 1 assist. So if you want to use that by the same metrics as, exactly. Some of the things. Johnny's right. Brady is fine. I don't understand.
Cracking up over there because you're rage baiting us into these reactions.
Because I was actually trying to rage bait myself eventually. But here's the thing. It's
really hard to play against. they're a really hard team to play against. So I don't fault Brady Tkachuk for not recording a point. They're just they shut you down. That's what they do. Look what they've done to the Islanders all the years they've played.
He did a good job on Ottawa. I will not say otherwise. So Brady did not have his best series. I didn't think he was good enough. But
like that pass, I think on the 5-on-3 was really bad.
Here's how you simply address this. Did Brady Tkachuk's series last year prove that he was a playoff performer?
I think this guy's a playoff performer. I think he's exactly what you want.
If you're going to say that last year proved that didn't prove that he's a playoff performer, then you can't say that this year proved that he's not a playoff performer. You can't ride both sides of the fence.
Exactly. And I also think
I totally agree with Brian. I totally agree. He tried to do too much. The weight of the captaincy, really had an effect on him there because he was trying to go out there, be a figurehead for the offense and a play driver, be the guy who gets in the middle of the scrums and stirs things up and throws the big hit and gets everybody into the fight. And he had the Canadian media all over him. And he's had them all over him since the gold medal and the fact that he's a Republican. I'm not going to get into all that crap, but he's been vilified for years for his political preference, for his father going on a podcast and basically calling out Linus Ullmark and that whole drama. The gold medal.
It was his podcast.
His own podcast, basically.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this guy's not a playoff performer. And I'm not going to sit there and tell you that he's Justin Williams or something like that. He's a guy that I still would want on my team come playoff time. Is he a guy that I would absolutely build my team around? No. So Anthony and I are both 40. Anthony's like 6 months older than me. His birthday's coming up next week. But Anthony and I played against Benoit Hogue in Beer League, in Suffolk County League. And he played on this team it was Miron Building, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
So it's a team of Benoit Hogue. Alexei Yashin's little brother was on that team, right?
Dmitry Yashin, yeah.
Dmitry Yashin. Yeah. Vlad Nikiforov was on that team, right?
Yeah.
And then a bunch of guys that played different levels of NCAA hockey, including, I think, D1. Yeah. And they absolutely smoked us. So that's why I was this was in response to the Paul Skeens thing, take $50,000 or try to hit no, we're not 50. No. I'm in late 40s probably at the time, and he absolutely smoked us. He wasn't even trying, and he came out. I still remember him coming across the line and firing a shot on Goldberg, and Goldberg just didn't even see it.
No, he didn't. No,
he didn't even see it. It was just oh my god.
Yeah. Anywhere the visor turned upside down.
And we still had that video of Doug Waite and Andy Sutton shooting on Goldberg.
Yeah.
And I think Hogue might have had a better shot than Waite did.
Yeah, he did. I think so. Yeah.
Benoit Hogue absolutely was the greatest talent I've seen in person on ice hockey. And Anthony and I have played against. My first time on ice was with, I don't know if anyone knows Jim Tamburino, and Chris and Peter Ferraro. And I know everybody here knows Chris and Peter Ferraro, but Chris and Peter, I remember I was falling basically all over the place being a roller hockey guy. And they were super nice to me. But those guys skating around, I was like, holy shit. This is so Johnny, you know Jim Tamburino. And Tamburino, I've played with him on roller a couple of times. And he's an incredible player, whether roller or ice. He's one of the better players I've personally played with or against. But those guys were all flying around, and you literally experience what it is like to play against guys that make it and then guys that just can't. because those guys do things that just literally blow your mind. They blow your mind. So, yeah.
Yeah. Like I've had some good players that I played with back in the day. Like I talk about Marty Hughes and Timmy Kirkostas all the time because those guys were two of the best ones. And I forgot what John's last name was, but that was another one. But there were a lot of good players that were around there. And yeah, so we're not going to spend any more time on this ridiculous notion that Brady Tkachuk isn't a playoff player. I still don't understand people. Like I understand that there's the rage bait stuff that's on Instagram. Somebody said that Tristan Jarry was a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. You're like, when? Because he played one game with the Penguins in the year they won their last cup. That's not the same thing. So please. One guy who's looking to find his first cup, by the way, Scott Wedgwood. He's in the first round. He's 4-0, 9.50 save percentage, and a 1.21 goals against average. Anthony Scott Wedgwood proved he can carry Colorado to the Stanley Cup.
Again, I mean, he was good, but I mean, LA is a team that we all know struggles to score goals. They're just they don't have enough offensive firepower. Panarin was really the only one going. So yeah, I mean, he did his job, but you know, I would be I'd be curious to see him play against a more high octane offense. So I'm gonna go shot here, honestly, because I want to see how he would perform if they had to play the Wild or Stars or a team like that, where juggernaut offensively. So yeah, good on him. You know, he got the job done like he was supposed to in round one, but for me, I'm not convinced.
All right, Phil, what do you think?
You want to where do you think I'm going with this, Mark?
Hold on. I got
Where
it.
do you think I'm going with this?
That would be this one.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Go yeah. Get the hoop.
Yeah.
Alex Laferriere led them with 4 assists. The only player that had more than 1 goal was Artemi Panarin. Do you know how many players scored goals for LA in that series?
4.
4. Do you know how many total points LA had in that series?
Actually, I do not.
15. 15 in 4 games. This is an absolute shot. This is we're going to go by design, aren't we? That's what we're going to do?
No, not really. There's more of a discussion on this one. However, my answer is this is another shot, too. It's Scott Wedgwood is a career backup. He had his first real season where he was a starter this year. The big question is still out there for him, and it's still lingering over this team. Because after all, wouldn't you say the same thing for Mackenzie Blackwood too? And then he couldn't beat the Avalanche. He couldn't beat the Stars last year. Now it's probably going to be up to Wedgwood to get by them. I mean, yeah. Colorado didn't even need to be at their best, as he just said. McKinnon didn't get his first goal, and I believe McCarr didn't score his first goal till game 4. That's wasn't
exactly,
that good.
Exactly. It's the LA
Alex,
Kings.
there you go.
They played the worst team in the playoffs, and they swept them like they should have, but it's not like any of these games were blowouts. They should have been blowing this team out. And give credit to LA for being able to keep it close because of their system. But, dude, where is the scoring? When you score 15 total points as a team in a 4-game sweep, like, that shows you that you really didn't belong there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
but
the only difference is between them and Ottawa is they had a lead at one point. That's it. That we knew this series was going to be a sweep. I think all 3 of us predicted it. Or
yeah, I know I said sweep in both of my brackets. So.
And I said sweep too. I think Anthony said sweep too. I mean,
I don't think I did. But
you don't think you did? All right, I'll take a look at that in a minute. Okay. Two more for the bar talk, guys, and we'll do some puck doku. But the Oilers right now, they trail the Ducks 3-2 in the first round. Guys, Connor McDavid signed a 2-year extension before this season. And right now, if he's looking at this team, I'm not sure if he sees a future, but Connor McDavid will ask out if the Oilers lose in the first round. Mr. LaRocco, since we've had nothing but layups, let's go right to you. Be the voice of reason on this one.
Now, this one's tough. I do think what's 100% true and not really debatable is when McDavid only re-upped for 2 years, he was putting the Oilers on notice, essentially. He was saying, okay, I'm not going to commit long-term, show me that we could build a sustained winner and whatnot. And, back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals appearances, if they were to bow out in the first round this year, I think when he really looks on it, he's going to look at, okay, well, again, our goaltending was an issue. How they defend is an issue. And even their overall depth beyond him and Draisaitl. And I think that's a good chance he may look at it and say, well, we got to the finals twice, but now we're out in the first round. Are we going to get back to that? He might not be convinced. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's around. However, I do think I'm at the point where I will acknowledge it's actually a real possibility he could think about something like this and say, okay, well, I'm out. So still there's a lot of speculation. The Oilers could come back here and win and advance, but I think if they bow out in the first round, I think that's not going to sit well with him. I think the guy just, especially after losing the gold medal, I think he loves playing at the pinnacle, or a Stanley Cup final, gold medal game, and he wants to win. As Kachuk chirped Leon Draisaitl, it's like always the bridesmaid, huh, Leon? Like I think McDavid's tired of that feeling too, and so I'm gonna go beer here because I can't sit here and say round that the best player of our generation is all gonna just shake the foundation of the league and say he wants out. But I do think it's a distinct possibility here if the Oilers lose that he's gonna think about moving on.
Phil,
I'm actually gonna go round. I can see this happening. And for me, it's because of the fact that this contract was a put up or shut up type contract. I do think that, I think this actually plays into factor too. I think Knobloch might be gone, and I think that's McDavid's guy. And I think McDavid might just be down at that point too. Like he did them a favor. Now, I think Edmonton has curried enough favors with McDavid that he might be done and over with. And I think he might see the writing on the wall because what do they do to go and address their goaltending? They make a lateral move. Like, how do you do that? You would think the answer
was it lateral?
Is Tristan Jarry
over
Stuart Skinner? Connor Ingram? Like, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why they were never in on John Gibson. I don't think he does this. I think he cares too much about the organization. I think he'll be transparent with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't see him being otherwise. I think he cares too much for everything that you can say about Connor McDavid and him not being greatest defensive center and yada, 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 and all this other stuff. And the commentary in the locker room from that one clip. Connor McDavid cares. He cares about Edmonton, and I think he cares about the fans. So I don't think he wants to be the bad guy. I think he wants to be transparent. And I think he wants to come back to a crazy long video tribute and ceremony and everything like that if he does leave. So I think he will ask out. I think it'll be done behind the scenes. And I would just hope that for Edmonton's sake that Ken Holland doesn't botch that.
No, it's
Stan Bowman.
Stan Bowman.
Yes. When you trade a player like Connor McDavid, I think you're losing no matter what.
Yeah, but there's a difference between losing it and getting absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to lose. You're going to lose.
Yeah.
You're not going to win that deal. Just throw that out there right away and lower your expectations, but don't get fleeced.
There's no future for him in Edmonton. I'm reminded of there was an episode of The Simpsons a while back where Maggie has to decide which family she wants to go to. Does she wants to stay with The Simpsons with Bart and Homer and Lisa? And she sees like nothing but barren lands and a frog jumping out of the water. And she looks over at the Flanders and there's a nice a rainbow behind them and all this other stuff. Marge wasn't with them at the time. That was all part of the comedy sketch. But that's sort of what he's got to be looking at. He's got to see nothing there. You're telling me I gave you a 2-year extension. By the way, it wouldn't be next year where he could walk. It would be the year after that he could walk. But I give you a 2-year extension and you come back with Tristan Jarry and these are the moves that you made to try to win. And no, they're regressing. This team is getting closer and closer to being completely irrelevant. And not for nothing, with all the moves Stan Bowman's been making, kind of deserve to be. So if that's the case, the reason why he signed that extension also was that way he can ask for a trade and then Edmonton can get something back for him. And Anthony, I know exactly what you mean because Stan Bowman would have to have it on his resume. Sure, you won 3 cups with the Blackhawks. We know about the other black eye he has with the Blackhawks. The other black eye after that is I traded Connor McDavid. And that's
just you know what, though? He might not have a choice, though. That's the thing.
Still,
just to expound on this a little bit more, I think if he does determine he wants out, I think one of the determining factors for him in choosing where he wants to go, I think he's going to want to go to a team that has elite goaltending. He just spent years of his career being let down by goaltending. I think he's going to look at teams.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that because you're going to get a lot of people in New York's hopes up.
Which is why something like this would not work. Connor McDavid wouldn't want to go to the Rangers only to have no goaltending again. So I think he's gonna want to go to. Obviously, there's gonna be other things he's gonna look at, but I think having a really good goaltender is gonna be something at the top of his mind. So
he would definitely want to go.
The Rangers fit that bill. Then you could say what you want, but I don't think Shesterkin's the best. But I mean. He's still
absolutely.
Really bad year.
For sure. Yes.
It's just a matter of whether or not the Rangers can, one, pull the pieces together to do something like that, and two, because we all know Chris Drury has no problem hot-shotting a rebuild.
No.
And Vince Mercogliano has hinted at this as much.
Yeah, I just think he would look to goalies he's not going to. Obviously, I don't think he has any interest in Winnipeg Jets. But again, a guy like Connor Hellebuck, Shesterkin, Sorokin, Vasilevsky, Ottinger. I think these are the kind of teams that have goalies that he would like to play for. But because the other thing is, even if Edmonton tries to say, okay, well, we'll get a legitimate starter, the free agent market is trash. Mm-hmm. Every guy on that list had a sub 900 save percentage. And then who are you trading for? Who are you? I mean, Vesper Wallstad or Gustafsson, one of those guys in the Wild. I mean, is that enough for him to say, okay, that's a sizable upgrade, which it is, but is that enough for him to say, okay, I like that? But there's no other team is going to trade a. I guess my point is it's going to be really hard for the Oilers to find a really good goaltender in this climate right now. They don't grow on trees.
I can't help but look at this and just think McDavid has done everything possible for this team to be a winner, and they cannot. And that's not on him. And it's time for him to move on. Where? I have no idea. No idea. But they're going to ask for the sun and the moon and a king's ransom. And the thing is, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even start the list of what team he's going to go to. But the one thing I can tell you this is, and let me shoot this around to you guys. Do you really see a future for Connor McDavid in Edmonton anymore?
I mean, it's tough. Like I said, he's. I mean, it seems like they're further away from where they were, at least at this very moment, being down 3-2. Their cap situation isn't the best. They don't have a goaltender coming that you could say, okay, yeah. So I don't know. Honestly, it's going to be it's hard for any of us to say right now. But I gotta think that 2-year deal at the very least, showed you that he's not fully committed to the Oilers long term.
No.
So
yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah. All right. Guys, the last one for bar talk, and then we'll do some fun stuff. The Westy Pearson Award nominees came out this week, and you got Macklin Celebrity, Nikita Kucherov, Connor McDavid, who has not been a finalist for this for a few years. This is the MVP voted on by the players. So it's the players' MVP. And that's where you think, Phil, the Pearson Award is more important than the Hart Trophy.
Shot. Come on, dude. Come on. This is always the award that's presented last at the NHL Awards. This is the award that everybody points to when they're talking about individual discussions with their career. Come on, man. Stop.
Okay.
It's just that's ridiculous. This is a shot layup. I mean, Evan, get me get the hoop. I wish Maria was here.
This was a lot of hoop today. Actually, you know what? I forgot to share this because I have the lovely artwork from my wife.
Yeah,
So-
that's hoop. This shot hoop. Just no. Sorry,
Anthony, is there any worth to the Pearson?
Yes, there is, but it's not more important than the
More important than the
Hart.
Hart. Let me say it like that.
No,
I get where you're going with this because you're trying to say being voted most valuable player by your fellow peers means more to you than writers who don't play the game, who just kind of evaluate things. So I understand. So I do get where you're coming from with asking that question. And I kind of agree with it, to be honest, but the Hart is just a more prestigious award just because. But
it's inherently the award, and it has been for years. No offense to the Pearson, no offense to the players, but the writers have the pull here with this award, and that's why the award has been basically viewed as the number one for years.
And Dwayne's kind of right about this one, although I trust the players over sports writers. GMs, I think, are also have factors in there too.
GMs vote on the Vezina.
Yeah.
GMs
okay. And they also do the Norris, so I guess they do the positional ones. Anyway, you know what? This is sort of like best original screenplay. When you got like the Oscars back when it actually meant something, that they're like, well, this is the runner-up to best picture. They'd give the best screenplay to whatever the second one is. And that's usually what happens in those situations. So if you get the guy that's not going to win it, they just give it right here. So yes, it's another shot. It's another shot layup. It's another shot hat trick. It's all of the problems, because there isn't much to talk about today as far as some of these go. But at least they got Celebrini in there because he deserves to be a finalist. My goodness, what a season. Kucherov, the same thing. McDavid back in for the first time around. I mean, Nate McKinnon is kind of looking over going, guys, come on. Didn't I have a great season? But you got to give these guys some full credit on at least getting voted in by their peers. By the way, Anthony, I think we said it beforehand. Who are the finalists for the Vezina?
Ilya Sorokin, Jeremy Swayman, and Andrei Vasilevsky are the finalists.
And we talked about that being the that it's voted on by GM. So there's a chance that they actually still might give it to Sorokin, even if
I think it was his up until the Islanders struggled and then he struggled.
Yeah.
So I think unfortunately, I think Vasilevsky is going to get it. That said, the only reason why I think there's at least a small chance he can win it is because GMs are more obviously evaluators than writers, and I think you may get GMs that look at it and be okay, Ilya Sorokin carry the Islanders. You know, if you put it on a worse team than the Bruins Lightning, they could maybe look at it like that. But I think unfortunately it's going to be Vasilevsky. But nonetheless, Sorokin being nominated for the second time in his career, just shows that he's one of the best goaltenders in the world.
Yep. And guys, that is the end of Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk, where we gauge our confidence on NHL topics based on our choice of drink. We're going to be playing some Puck Doku in just a moment. I'm trying to get my obscurities guys also in place because I did not have them earlier because I wasn't sure if we're going to have time.
Damn it, Mario.
It's 420. What, Anthony?
It's a damn it, Mario.
Pull up Puck Doku. I'm trying to do obscurities guys right now too. Actually, sorry.
Pull up Puck Doku, and then I'll go first. Then I guess while you guys try to.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get that Puck Doku up there, and all right for everybody listening at home, we have the X-axis is the Blues. The Winnipeg Jets / Atlanta Thrashers. I always have to make sure I get that in there. And 250 games played in their career. Going the Y-axis, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Colorado Avalanche, and 30-plus playoff points in their career. So, Anthony, let's start you off. Where do you want to start with?
I'll go the Penguins and the Blues. I'll start with Jeff Norton.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
All right. What's on the far? Was that Penguins and what?
Jim Tamburino plays hockey on. He's a Long Island guy. He used to coach Farmingdale ice hockey, I believe.
Anthony, what was it that you needed clarification on?
The Penguins and the far right.
250 games played in their career.
Oh, I'll do Darius Kasparaitis.
Okay. 0.7.
All right. Avalanche and 250 games played, right?
Yep.
Do Johnny Boychuk.
Johnny Boychuk, and there we go, 0.2.
Thanks, Wayne. Take care, buddy.
Yeah. Not many people remember Boychuk as the Colorado Avalanche, so he started.
Yeah, he was there for a while though.
Let's see. So was that 30 points?
Yeah,
yeah.
Tamburino is really, really good player. Johnny Lazarus even before was even saying it. So
you know what? Come back to that. So Blues and Avalanche / Nordiques. Go Jerry Hart.
Wow.
I went to the wrong one. What was it? Wow. Blues and Avalanche / Nordiques?
Blues / Avalanche Nordiques.
Okay, Blues. There we go. Jerry Hart.
Yeah.
Or one of the OG New York Islanders, too.
Is it with an A?
HART.
There he is, right there.
He was also a Long Island guy. He was at the rinks a lot.
Yep. Yep. He was the pro. I think he started up the programs there.
Yes, I believe you are right. All right, 30 points in the playoff career in Blues. Go Constant Crossman.
Always nice to have those guys in your pocket, Anthony.
Yeah. All right. Thrashers and 30 points in his postseason career. I think I can keep this going. I think Zhitnik had more than 30. You know what? Plug in Zhitnik, and I'll just hope he had 30 playoff points. I think he probably did.
0.6.
All right. Wow. 30 playoff points and 250 games played. Do Tom Curvers.
0.0.
All right. Atlanta and Pittsburgh. Atlanta and Pittsburgh. Don't know if there's a Islander defenseman that played for both of those teams. Atlanta. I know this isn't, but if I do Huey Krupp and Avalanche Thrashers Jets, I'm not gonna win. So I'm gonna abandon my theme here, and I'm gonna do Ken Klee there instead.
Which one is that right here?
Yeah.
Colorado, Winnipeg.
Yeah, Ken Klee.
Okay, Ken Klee. 0.8.
All right. Now this last one. Winnipeg, Atlanta, Pittsburgh. Might be a 1%er, but go with Eric Christensen.
Eric Christensen is a 1%er. So there you go right there. Pittsburgh and Winnipeg for Eric Christensen. You have a 1, Anthony. I'm going to try to do this really fast so Phil can finish up his. Also, because I have a name that I want to make sure I get in there. It's Greg DeVries.
I can do it too, whatever you want to do. If you want to go, you can go.
I got it. I'm already on it. Greg DeVries. I already got 5%, so I'm bummed. Wow. 5%. Okay, well, Colorado Avalanche. We're going to go with Norman Rochford because he was forgot how to spell his name now.
Who?
Norman Rochford. There he is.
Rochefort.
Okay, got him. He's a 0.2. Let's see how much I could do right here. German Titov for this one. 250 games played. Penguins. Come back to that one. Penguins, St. Louis Blues. Let's just do David Perron and keep this going. Yeah, that's a 7%er. I knew I was going to get bad on that one. Scott Young. We'll keep that going. So 0.2. 30-plus playoff points in their career. Just because I'm reading his book right now, Chris Pronger. Let's go with that. He's only a 2%er? Really? Okay. The Winnipeg Jets. This one will go with Keith Tkachuk because that's a 1%er.
Wow, it was only a 1%er. Holy shit.
We'll go with Roman Hamrlik for this one as 0.0, and maybe I would have, fared better on this. Pittsburgh, Winnipeg. I just got to think of anybody that played for both these teams. I'm blanking at the moment.
Atlanta, Winnipeg. Every time they're in this, it's always a pain.
This is tough, but I think I have a name that.
Yeah, I'm boned anyway, so I'll just think of anybody. Oh, Chris Tamer. Oh, let's go. It's not even right.
That's actually a good one that I didn't even think of.
I don't, but he's not. Oh, he's a 2%er. Okay, how about that?
18.
All right. So yeah, Tamer and Pittsburgh. So I got a 19. It could have been better. You know what? It could have been better. I still probably would have had within 10.
The Greg DeVries in Perron is obviously really good.
Yeah, but I can't believe Greg DeVries. You remember Greg DeVries in Atlanta? That's what you remember?
Well, it's the same reason why Yui Krupp is always a high score for this combination, even though he wasn't a household name. Like,
All right, but he won the Stanley Cup with them. And he had the Stanley Cup winning goal. That's the reason why. But okay, Phil, where do you want to start?
All right. Go with St. Louis, Colorado / Quebec. I'm going to go with Tony McKegney. This guy I use a lot.
He's under 1%.
Colorado and Atlanta, or Winnipeg. Sean Donovan.
Sean Donovan. They actually knew how to pronounce his name or spell his name right.
Donovan's not a hard last name to spell.
No, but Sean is SHEAN.
Yeah,
That's not the way to spell Sean.
Okay. 250 games played in Colorado. Shout out to the late great Troy Murray. First player in NHL history to score 90 points and win a Selke in his same year, 1980. Rest in peace, Troy. Pittsburgh, 250 playoff games, or 250 games played, I should say. Paul Stanton. He was a defenseman on those cup-winning teams.
Paul Stanton, 0.0. That even
30
Paul Stanton
points postseason, 30 points postseason and 250 games played. Give me Mike Keane.
Mike Keane?
Yeah, Mike Keane.
Mike Keane, you were 1.1. Still under 0.
St. Louis and 30 points postseason. Go Scott Young. Left. Yeah, there you go.
0.5.
I'm wondering where I should use this guy because I could use him in 2 different locations for the same team. And they're both on the Atlanta / Winnipeg side. You know what? Because I have another guy in mind for that top slot, and I don't think he nailed it. I don't think he nailed the 30 playoff points. Go for the Winnipeg / Atlanta 30 playoff points. Go Sean McEachran.
Got it.
All right. Pittsburgh and St. Louis. I've used him in obscurities, and I know he played for both of these teams. Dan Quinn.
Okay, 0.7. You got under 1, you beat Anthony.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and
Right,
Winnipeg / Atlanta Thrashers.
I don't know if this guy's. I've got one name in mind. Go with Randy Robitaille.
I believe that one is going to do it.
Well done.
You need to score 0. Phil won this one.
Well done.
I haven't won it in a few weeks now.
Well
so
done.
it's
nice to get back on top there, I guess.
All right, let's start the pyramid. 750 games played, 100 plus goals scored in their career. They played for the Ottawa Senators, 20 points in their career. They played for the Montreal Canadiens.
Wait, 20. Wait, you meant 20.
20 points playoff postseason
playoff?
career. Nashville Predators is up top.
You usually know who this is right off the bat. I don't at this exact.
Yeah.
You know
My first
what?
thought was Mike Fisher. Did Mike Fisher ever play for the
Mike
Canadiens?
Fisher never played for Montreal.
No, he never played for Montreal. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, just kick it off with Constant Crossman.
Oh, of course, the constant cross. Why don't we do Adam Creighton?
Either or, it doesn't matter. The first one, it's no matter what it's not gonna really matter too much.
All right, 750 games played and 100 plus goals scored in their career.
I mean, does Adam Creighton actually fit that? Adam Creighton might, because he had 1 year where he had 34 goals. He might.
I think
I was thinking about just going to Pat
think
Flatley.
John Druce also fits this.
What about Pat Flatley?
Yeah, Creighton has 187 goals. So no matter who you go with here, it should be pretty.
Let's
easy.
go, Creighton. We'll just break out all of our special ones. All right, now we got to get serious. Ottawa Senators.
All right, so I have a guy that fits both the next two. Randy Cunneyworth fits both the next two.
Okay. In this case, does Radek Bonk fit this?
Yeah, but I feel like he's fairly obvious because he was like almost a lifelong Senator.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do think Shane Knighty would fit this.
No way Shane Knighty has 100 goals.
No, he doesn't have 100
Knighty
goals.
definitely does not.
No, I went to the games played. I went to the wrong one. And I'm still thinking of the wrong guy.
No way, yeah.
Was it Chris? What about Chris? No, Chris Phillips doesn't have enough.
I don't think Chris Phillips has that either.
Chris Phillips might. He played for a while.
Hold on. I think I've got one. I think Magnus Arvidsson fits this.
Yeah, I would say Arvidsson probably.
Arvidsson has exactly 100 goals. Oh, no, he doesn't fit the playoff points. Shit, my bad.
No, but he fits this one. There's no playoff points yet.
He has 750 games.
So he fits. Yeah, go Magnus Arvidsson there.
Incorrect.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Did he not miss?
Probably because he's got exactly 100.
No, he doesn't have 750 games. Sorry.
Okay. So
shit. All right.
Wait,
Sean
McEachern. Yeah, there's your Sean McEachern.
So now you're getting
use Randy Cunneyworth.
Why here and not the Canadians?
Because Randy Cunneyworth didn't play for the Canadiens.
He didn't play for Montreal.
Okay, just making sure I got it.
Yeah.
I thought you said the next two.
No, he's no. I was talking about the Ottawa and the one after that.
All right, so there was
no.
Randy Cunneyworth is not right.
What? Wow, he doesn't have enough points.
Start this over again.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I thought he had enough points. Okay.
I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, I know.
Creighton, McEachern. Now, there's Wade Redden probably fits this next one.
Yeah, that's too obvious. What about did Peter Schaefer have enough playoff points?
I don't think so. I don't think Ottawa made the playoffs enough consistently. Actually, he does. He's at 24.
Yeah,
He doesn't have 100 goals scored in his career.
He doesn't have 100 goals. He's 99.
He's got 99.
No, but he doesn't have enough games played. Shit.
Yeah, he doesn't fit the other criteria. He just has Ottawa.
How
about Alex Burrows?
I don't think Burrows played for Ottawa.
Yeah, last 2 seasons of his career.
That's actually a good one then. If he did.
He did.
Yeah.
By the way, he checks out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he checks out. You do it.
Okay.
Early.
So
because a lot of people are. That's not going to be a name that at the top of people's lists. I don't think.
and might for recency bias. You need to score 0 still. Okay, so now we need somebody to check out this.
750 games, 100 career goals, 20 career playoff points. Senator and a Canadian.
Does Sylvain Turgeon fit all this?
I think he might.
I will check that. I think he does.
No.
I wonder if he fits the games played.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't fit the games played.
No,
not 669.
Because I think
and he didn't have enough playoff points.
Oh no, he didn't have enough. Okay. I don't think Alexander Daig fits any of this.
What about Brent Gretzky? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Richard Zednik.
Games played. Holy shit.
I think Richard Zednik might fit this.
Zednik played for Ottawa?
Oh, no, he did not.
No, he did
I was
not.
about to say, I don't remember him with
didn't.
Ottawa at all. I remember him with Washington. I remember him with Montreal, Florida, Isles.
I thought, hold on.
Oh, those are the 4 teams he played for. Okay.
Yeah,
Zednik
no, I
does
thought,
not fit the games played either. He just misses the games played.
I thought Vinny Prospel would be in there.
Prospel isn't
Never played for
Montreal.
Ottawa. Sorry, I mean
No,
Montreal.
he played for Ottawa. He didn't play for Montreal.
That's what I still meant to say, Montreal. I mean, Radek Bonk fits this. Actually, Radek Bonk is who they directed us to. Bonk finished his career in Nashville.
Mark's been riding the Bonk train since the beginning. Yeah, buddy, I think you're right. I think Bonk.
But no, it is definitely Radek Bonk at the end. So we can't use Radek Bonk right now.
All right.
Bonk. And all I keep thinking about is that Archer episode when he was in Monte Carlo. Bonk.
Did Mike Camilleri play for Ottawa? No, right?
No, I don't think so. I know he played for Montreal.
Calgary.
He never played for Ottawa. Ogolev played for both of these teams.
Yes. Yeah.
I think Kovalev, it fits all of them.
Kovalev fits everything.
Brian Smolinski.
Brian Smolinski also fits. I'm pretty sure that he has enough playoff points. He hasn't more than enough games. I know that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the game. The playoff points.
Yeah, he fits everything else.
Just the way you know, Alexei Kovalev had 100 playoff points. Still looking at it and not seeing. Yeah. That's incredible.
Smolinski fits everything.
So
all right, so we'll go Brian Smolinski because I think Alexei Kovalev is too high. We'll check the other numbers on this in a moment. We're good with Smolinski?
I don't think there's anyone else that I could think of that fits that. Gomez never played for Ottawa.
No.
Milan Mikhailic, did he ever play for
who?
Milan Mikhailic?
No.
Milan Mikhailic? No, he never played for Montreal. I don't think
Danny Heatley.
He went from San Jose to Ottawa and then he faded off after that.
Joey Juneau?
Joey Juneau actually does fit this because he played for both teams. And I know that he has the playoff points because he.
Oh yeah, he was in the playoffs forever.
Yeah, he was in the playoffs on several different teams, and he had good runs in 92, 98, and 99.
Oh, actually, David said Gomez played 13 games with Ottawa.
When did Gomez play with Ottawa?
Must have been the end of his career.
Must have been the very end. I thought it was San Jose was the last game of the last games of his career. Gomez did play for Ottawa. He played 13 games, had 1 assist.
I would go with Juno.
So now we have Juno, Smolinski, and Gomez that all fit this.
I think Smolinski is the guy if you go with the three of them.
Yeah, go with Smolinski. It's fine. Go with Smolinski.
Okay, Brian Smolinski, and we're going with Radek Bonk up here.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. You need the score too,
right, so
everybody.
there was only
So
one
had,
answer for that one. Let's go
Bonk
see
was
what
the only one.
the other ones were below Smolinski.
We got Lars Eller. Alexei Kovalev would have been the second most popular. Sergei Gonchar is the guy we didn't consider.
Yeah.
Alesh Hemsky was the only answer. And you know what? Joey Juno, you're right about that. How did people forget about Joey Juno? I mean, I understand he had the second best rookie season in 1993, but that was a hell of a player. I mean, Brian Smolinski.
The problem is that his fall off was too big after that. After 94, he was just never the same player.
Yeah.
All right. And I just gotta need 1 minute for obscurities just to get my
I'm
three
still
for
trying
Anthony.
to put together obscure.
I have all mine.
I only have till 5 o'clock, guys. That's the hard part. So that's why I wasn't even putting as much effort into it today. Go ahead.
I have all mine for both of you, so whatever.
All right. Trying to get to you as soon as I can. Anthony, why don't you take some questions?
What?
Why don't we take some questions? Fill some dead airspace.
You don't want yours right now? Or you're still trying to compile people?
I'm trying. I just got to get 2 more players right now.
Okay.
Because
the there's not really.
Yeah, I just got to get 2 more players.
Mike saying how much will Darren Radish get as a UFA? I think he's going to be
That's
30.
going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Do you think he's even going to leave? That's a good question.
Well, I think he might.
I don't think he's going to leave, but I think that's going to be a pretty nice contract for him.
I think he's going to be 30 years old, so I think this is his one and really only time to really cash in. So that's why I think he might test the water, because I think he might get big offers from other teams. So he turned 30 in February. So I think he's going to use this to try to get as much money as he can. So I would think it probably suits him to actually hit the market and see how much he can get. But he might be a flash in the pan. I don't know. So, I mean, I wouldn't pay him more than $5-6 million, maybe. I wouldn't go much more than that.
No, it's going to be higher than that. It's going to be a lot higher than that. I think he's going to go. I think he's probably going to exceed 8.
That's risky to give a 30-year-old more than $8 million. He just had one good year. That's very risky.
Well, all right. So here's the problem. Where do you go with a guy who was one of the top offensive defensemen in the entire league this year? Didn't he lead the? I think he was second in goals amongst defensemen, but only behind Chychrun.
No, and Schaefer 23.
And Schaefer.
Oh, Schaefer 23. Okay, yeah. So Schaefer was, I think, tied for second in goals, and then Radish was third. And then not only that, but Radish was just under a point per game.
Yeah.
Like I really don't think you're getting that for less than 8. I don't. I understand I understand the leeriness and being wary about like his age and the jump in production, but I would worry about. This I would worry about. I would absolutely worry about that.
All right, I got my guys.
All right.
So
Mark, you want?
Yeah, go ahead, Anthony. You can hammer me with the first few.
I love how you automatically assume you're gonna do poorly.
I have been stinking high wind lately, so ever since I tied for first, I have just not been getting it, and it's been rough.
Well, I got Phil. You have the timer.
Yeah, I can do this. Give me 1 second. All right. Go ahead whenever you are ready.
All right, I'm ready. Mark, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Mark. Your first player played in 895 career games over 6 teams. His name is Steve Conroy.
Steve Conroy, Calgary Flames.
Yep.
Chicago Blackhawks.
Yep.
The Tampa Bay Lightning.
No.
The LA Kings.
No.
St. Louis Blues.
No.
Okay, Vancouver Canucks.
No.
Minnesota Wild.
No.
San Jose Sharks.
No.
Phoenix Coyotes.
No. No. So you got 2. You missed the Islanders, Whalers, Red Wings, and Senators.
I should have went to the Red Wings instead. Anybody that usually plays for Chicago.
Yeah, the Red Wings were the one team that I was like, all right, he's definitely missing this right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The Islanders, I don't remember them with the Islanders at all.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Your next player played for five teams over 211 games. His name is Wyatt Smith.
I'm boned. The New Jersey Devils.
No.
The Nashville Predators.
Yes.
The Ottawa Senators.
No.
The San Jose Sharks.
No.
Florida Panthers.
No.
Atlanta Thrashers.
No.
Minnesota Wild.
Yes.
Winnipeg Jets.
No.
Okay, the Vancouver Canucks.
No.
Oh, shit.
Calgary Flames.
Sorry, I wasn't doing the timer. I don't.
No. Well, he's probably out of.
I'm probably out of it now.
He's
Anyway,
probably out of time now.
All right.
But I fuck. Sorry, dude.
So
good.
You missed the Islanders, Predators, and Coyotes. You said the Winnipeg Jets, but I couldn't give it.
I got the Predators.
I know you got the Predators. You missed the Islanders, the Coyotes, and the Avalanche.
Okay, so how many did I get?
You got 2. You got the Predators.
Okay,
and
I'm
the
up to
Wild.
4. Got it. All right. Yeah, just want to make sure I had the right number.
All right.
Oh God, I am getting killed.
Well, maybe you might.
I'll make sure I got the timer for this one. Sorry, boys.
I make mine way too easy for you guys too.
You might be able to salvage this one. All right, your next player, Mark, played for 5 teams over 245 career games. His name is Petteri Nokalainen.
Oh God. San Jose Sharks.
No.
The Florida Panthers.
No.
The Detroit Red Wings.
No.
Calgary Flames.
No.
The Montreal Canadiens.
Yes.
Okay, wow, I got one. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
Okay, the Boston Bruins.
Yes.
Okay, the Buffalo Sabres.
Stop.
No.
You didn't get it in time. No, but you definitely missed the Islanders. He was an Islander draft pick in 04.
Yep. Just
Okay.
Islanders, Ducks, and Coyotes.
Wow, an illustrious 6. What a great way to start off. So all right. Anthony, here's yours from me.
All right.
Phil,
Okay.
you got the timer?
Yeah.
All right. 4 was the minimum, right? It's always 4.
5.
No, 5.
All right,
Just
I'm screwed.
Just give it
I'm
to me
sorry.
anyway. No, just
I'll give it to you anyway. I'm so dead. Anyway, Anthony, your first guy played 166 games for 4 NHL teams. His name is Craig Darby.
Islanders,
That's 1.
Maple Leafs,
Nope.
Canadians,
2.
Bruins,
Nope.
Lightning,
Nope.
Coyotes.
Nope.
The Sharks.
Nope.
Ducks.
Nope.
Wild.
Nope.
Blues.
Time.
Nope. You missed the Flyers and the Devils. Flyers and the Devils. So Craig Darby. So that starts you off with a mark score of 2. I got two of them or 4 for you guys. Sorry, I didn't have that much time.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right, Anthony, your next guy played 644 games, and I think he's the biggest name I have on here because his name is Carl Dykhouse.
Canadians.
1,
Flyers.
2,
Blackhawks.
3.
Devils.
Nope.
Coyotes.
Nope.
Panthers.
Nope.
The Flames.
Nope.
The Capitals.
Nope.
Hurricanes.
Time. No.
Nope.
The other team you missed was Tampa.
That was it. So that moves you up to 3 more. That's right over here. So you're at 5.
I looked at Dykhouse as using one, and then I thought he had enough teams, and then I realized it was 4, and I backed off.
Right. And I know it's the game that we usually do 4, but still I had to go with that.
5.
All right. This guy does have 5 teams, and he played 372 games. His name is Jamie Allison.
Bruins.
No.
Flames.
Yes.
Blue Jackets.
Yes.
Coyotes.
No.
Lightning.
No.
Sabres.
No.
Sharks.
Nope.
Ducks.
Nope.
Capitals.
Nope.
Time.
Hurricanes.
No. You wouldn't get that in anyway. You timed out.
All right.
So he said Calgary and Columbus. He missed Chicago, Nashville, and Florida.
All right. So that moves you up to 7 points so far, Anthony. All right. Philk. You got to get 3 from Anthony.
Okay.
All right. I got 3. You got the timer, Mark?
I have the timer.
Good.
All right. I'm going to give Phil his easiest one first.
Okay.
All right, Phil. This player played in 572 games over 8 teams. And Mark, you have the timer?
Yep.
Anders Eriksson.
Detroit, Toronto, Rangers, Calgary.
Yep.
Atlanta.
No. So you got 4. No.
Bruins.
No.
Columbus.
You think you said Columbus, no?
He didn't say Columbus.
No. All right. 5.
Florida.
Yes.
Washington.
Time.
No. So you just missed Toronto then. I think you said
No, I said Toronto. Toronto was one of the original 4 I said.
You said Detroit. You said Chicago. You said Florida, Toronto,
Rangers.
Columbus. Oh, so then Phoenix. You missed 1. Phoenix.
I missed. Yeah, so it's Phoenix then. Okay.
How many is that, Anthony?
So that's 7 then.
Oh, he just tied you right away on the first one. So I'm getting these games. I'm just trailing behind on all these games.
All right. Mark, you got the timer?
I got the timer.
All right, Phil. Your next player played for 5 teams over 242 games. His name is Chris Murray.
Wow. Okay. San Jose.
No.
Boston.
No.
Buffalo.
No.
Pittsburgh.
No.
Calgary.
No.
Toronto.
No.
Philadelphia.
No.
Washington.
No.
Nashville.
No.
Islanders.
No.
Detroit.
No.
Anaheim.
Time.
No.
What the?
Montreal, Whalers / Hurricanes, Senators, Blackhawks, and Dallas.
Wow. Okay.
Was he over right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know what the fuck that was.
All right.
All right. What do you got, Anthony?
All right. All right, Mark. Philip, your last player. Let's give you a little bit of a hint. He's a goalie. He played in 128 games over 5 teams. His name is Pat Yablonski.
Montreal.
Yep.
Hartford.
No.
Anaheim.
So, Mark, hit pause.
All right.
You said Hartford. Does that? Are we do Carolina?
No, it is
Just
Carolina.
count for Hartford.
It's Carolina. I know it's Carolina.
So, are we giving him 2 then for that, Mark, or no?
Just one. He just gets one.
All right, but now, all right. So you could let me know when you hit resume, or let him know.
Okay. I'm hitting resume right now.
All right.
So I got 2, right?
Well, fuck. Now I don't. Who'd you? God damn it. I don't remember now.
He played for Ottawa.
No.
Ottawa. Okay, no.
Did you say Montreal?
I said Montreal.
Oh, so that's the team you said. So you definitely said Montreal.
I did. I said Montreal, and then Hartford / Carolina, whatever the hell. But it's either way. It's one of the. I know it's one of the 2 teams.
Okay.
St. Louis.
Yes.
Florida.
No.
No. Calgary.
No.
Buffalo.
No.
Pittsburgh.
No.
L.A.
No.
Nashville.
Time.
No. So then you missed Tampa Bay and Phoenix.
All right. So actually, a rough first round for all of us. That's 2 on that one, right, Phil?
3.
3. You got it. So you're up to 10. So, wow. All right. That's a rough one.
Yeah, going 0-4 on that one. Mark or Anthony, do you want?
I'll go first.
Just do Mark because I gotta let my daughter's tutor out. She's gonna be leaving in a minute. So
Okay, I'll do the timer then.
Okay.
All right. So Mark, this is going to be your easiest one, I think. This player's played 771 games over 7 teams. Mark, you ready?
Yeah.
This is Nelson Emerson.
Nelson Emerson played for the St. Louis Blues, the Hartford Whalers, or the Carolina Hurricanes, either one you want to say. The San Jose Sharks.
No.
Oh no, he played for. Oops. Oh my God, I'm going there. I'm getting Craig Janney. Confused. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
The Buffalo Sabres.
No.
The Montreal Canadiens.
No.
The Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes.
Okay.
Time.
Shit.
So you got 3 out of the 7. You missed LA, Winnipeg, Atlanta, and Ottawa. You almost said Ottawa too. You were starting to say Ottawa and you stopped. I was like,
There was, because again, I got him and Craig Janney confused when I started going to San Jose, because it was San Jose, then it was going to be the Islanders, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. So once that happened, I was not in good shape. Nelson Emerson, I only had 3, Anthony, because I mixed up him and Craig Janney.
Oof. That was a gift to get Nelson Emerson.
I know, I know. Should have taken that and ran with it.
Screw it. All right, Mark. Your next one has played in 1,182 games over 5 teams. Anthony, do you want the timer or you want me to do the timer?
Yeah, no, I got the timer.
Okay, Mark, you ready?
Yep.
Mark, this is Kelly Buckberger.
The Atlanta Thrashers,
Yes.
New York Islanders?
No.
No, the LA Kings.
Yes.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Yes.
The Vancouver Canucks.
No.
The Chicago Blackhawks.
No.
The Tampa Bay Lightning.
No.
The
Time.
Yeah, Mark, you missed Phoenix and Pittsburgh.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't gonna get Pittsburgh, but Phoenix is actually where I should have named, but I got 3 of them, so that moves me up to 12.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Mark.
I got to sweep
ready
this
for your
one. I
last
have a
one?
chance. Yep.
All right. So this player has played 374 games over 7 teams. Mark, this is Enrico Ciccone.
Oh, Enrico Ciccone, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yes.
St. Louis Blues.
No.
The Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes.
The Detroit Red Wings.
No.
The Vancouver Canucks.
Yes.
Okay, the Calgary Flames.
No.
San Jose Sharks.
No.
LA Kings.
No.
The Anaheim Ducks.
No.
Time.
So you said Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Vancouver. You missed Washington, Minnesota, Carolina, and Montreal.
All right, yeah. I should have remembered him from Carolina, so that moves me up to 15. All right, at least a good showing in the second one. All right,
Anthony, you ready for yours?
Yeah.
All right, Mark, just tell me when you have the timer.
Okay, and I'm ready.
All right, Anthony, you ready?
Yep.
All right, this player played 198 games over 5 teams. Anthony, this is Chris Beach.
Penguins.
Yep.
Capitals.
Yep.
Lightning.
Nope.
Oilers.
Nope.
Flames.
Nope.
Rangers.
Nope.
Ducks.
Nope.
Sharks.
Nope.
Maple Leafs.
Nope.
Canadians.
Nope.
Canucks.
Yes.
Jets.
No.
Time.
You missed Columbus and Nashville.
That was one of those that you get it right away.
Yeah. I knew
And then
the Yager trade was the gift. It was because he was the main
right, you get the 2 teams because of the Yager trade. But man, that lonely feeling when you go through that stretch and you're sitting there and and I look down, I'm like, he still has 10 more seconds.
Yeah. No, I know. After the first 2, I was counting, and then I just started spiraling. So I got 3.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. This player has played 403 games over 6 teams. This is Mark Lamb.
Ottawa Senators.
Yes.
New Jersey Devils.
No.
Edmonton Oilers.
Yes.
Winnipeg Jets.
No.
Montreal Canadiens.
Yes.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
Boston Bruins.
No.
Philadelphia Flyers.
Yes.
Devils.
No.
Canucks.
Stop.
No. You missed Detroit and Calgary.
All right. So how many was that, Phil?
4.
That was 4. Anthony, your next turn. You should go ahead of me.
I already tied mine from the first round.
All right, Anthony. This is going to be your hardest one.
Okay.
Giggity.
This player has played 115 games over 8 teams. Anthony, this is Jared Scald.
Penguins.
No.
Ottawa Senators.
No.
Vancouver Canucks.
No.
New Jersey Devils.
Yes.
Phoenix Coyotes.
Yes.
Anaheim Ducks.
Yes.
Flames,
Yes.
the Rangers,
No.
Bruins,
No.
Avalanche.
No.
Time.
So you said New Jersey. What did you? Which ones did you say, Anthony? New Jersey,
4. New
San
Jersey.
Jose.
Ottawa and Montreal.
No, he didn't say Ottawa wasn't one anyway. I think he said New Jersey, San Jose, Flames, and another.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Phoenix.
think it was Anaheim. You said right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Oh.
so you missed Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, and Philadelphia.
Fuck.
All right, but Anthony, that moves you into the lead.
No, for now.
All right, Philk. I got 2 guys with 4, but I got 1 guy with 8. So
Okay,
you got
that's fine. That's fine.
you got a chance to blow the doors off of this one.
All right.
Anthony, you ready with the timer?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, Phil, your first guy played 323 games in the NHL, and his name is Brad Lauer.
Philadelphia,
No,
Tampa Bay,
no,
Dallas,
nope,
Detroit,
nope,
Boston,
nope,
Florida,
no,
Toronto,
no,
Anaheim,
no,
San Jose,
no,
Washington,
no,
Calgary,
no,
Edmonton.
no,
Time.
What the fuck?
Islanders, Blackhawks.
Ottawa and Pittsburgh.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow. I don't know how many times you've been shut out before, but wow.
That's twice in one day. That's crazy.
All right. Well, here's a chance to catch up because this guy had 528 games. He's played for 4 teams. Anthony, ready with the timer?
Yeah. Yep.
His name is Gord Dineen.
Hartford,
No,
Carolina,
no,
Florida,
no,
Boston,
no,
Montreal,
no,
Philadelphia,
no,
Tampa Bay,
no,
Washington,
no,
Calgary,
no,
Toronto.
Time.
no.
Time.
What the fuck?
Islanders, Minnesota North Stars, Ottawa
and Pittsburgh. Again. Wow, I can't believe you just got shut out twice. All right.
I don't know, too much
Phil,
on my mind right now.
Philk, this guy's got 8 teams. You have 8 on the last guy. 7 will tie it. 8 will tie it. You need to go perfect. So let's see if you can do it. He played 474 games in the NHL, and his name is Greg Hawgood.
Philadelphia, LA, Phoenix.
Philadelphia, no LA, and no Phoenix.
Vancouver.
That's 2.
Ottawa.
No,
Nashville.
no.
San Jose.
San Jose's 3.
Boston.
4.
Toronto.
No,
Anaheim.
Time.
no.
Time.
Edmonton, Pittsburgh, Florida, and Dallas. They had 4 of them. Like you were starting to roll those off, and just so again, Anthony wins it.
I think I might have confused him with Gary Galley for a second.
Well, I know who you confused Gord Dineen with. Kevin Dineen. Because
Yeah.
you were naming Kevin Dineen's teams. The Flyers and all that.
That's why I was really like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I was like, I thought you were playing a joke with me for a second.
No, it wasn't. I'm sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. How are you not there? Getting through all the comments on that one. As a steel door right there. Yes. The Islanders. Wow. All right. All right. Well, guys, unfortunately, I got to work tonight, so I got to cut it off right there. And it is just that I'm actually floored by that, Phil. I didn't think I was going to shut you out. Never mind once, never mind twice.
Yeah.
So guys, we got the slate of games tonight. Pittsburgh, Montreal, Tampa Bay, and Utah and Vegas. Do the Flyers close out the Penguins?
I'm going to just stick with my prediction that Philadelphia wins the series, so I hope they do.
All right.
Just because I there's nothing like Game 7s. I hope Pittsburgh wins and forces a Game 7, but I have a feeling Philly closes out tonight.
I just also can't see them losing 3 games in a row like that. Like I get Pittsburgh is playing better defensively, but like their speed and everything like that has to start playing a factor again, and I think they're going to find a way around it.
I have a sneaky feeling Pittsburgh forces Game 7, and
I hope it happens because I love Game 7s, but
I do love Game 7s. It's just it's hard to imagine blowing a 3-0 lead. So
all 3 of us can agree on this because we're New York fans, the Islanders and Rangers, but I don't like any of these teams. I don't like Pittsburgh. I don't like Philly, but at least Pittsburgh has the redeeming quality of, as his career has gone on, I've actually learned to respect / like Sidney Crosby. And as his time is running down, I would like to see Crosby get another crack at it. Whereas the Flyers, Flyers don't have any redeeming qualities for me. Philly I do not like at all.
Well, yeah, but I do like Trevor Zegras. So
yeah, but
all right. Canadians and the Lightning. Who's gonna take the lead in the series, and will there be overtime?
This one's a tough one. This series has been entertaining, equally matched in my opinion. Oh, I don't know, Jim. Tony Romo there for you. I'm gonna say Tampa Bay wins and no overtime.
All right, Phil, what do you think?
The Montreal-Tampa game. It is in Tampa. I'm going to go Tampa.
All right. I'm going Tampa. I can't see Tampa going out in the first round yet again, and I did have them in the Stanley Cup Finals, so there you go right there. And Mammoth the Golden Knights, or the Mammoth going to rebound? Phil, do you want to start?
I'm going to go Vegas tonight. I think Vegas takes this one tonight.
Anthony?
I don't want the Mammoth to win just because, but I think I agree with Phil. I think Vegas is going to win tonight at home.
All right, I think it's got to be Vegas. They got to take control of the series, so they got to get on there. And these are the last 2 series. Man, they're so evenly matched. And now the Penguins acting like the Penguins again. You could say all 3 of these games. Like this is why hockey's just got the best fucking playoffs. And it's always the best. And Game 7 of the first round is a little different than later. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we'll see more about that. And as we got right here, Lightning and Ducks too strong to lose. If the Oilers and Habs move on, it'll be magical. Yeah, I just don't see the Oilers doing that. Phil, you had a couple ones that were starred right here. Is there any one?
Yeah. No, that's not it. This one, yeah. Chris T. Ryan Smith may want to make a huge splash. I think he's been wanting to make huge splashes since he took over ownership. I think so too. I do. James says Brady Tkachuk goes to Utah. I mean, that would be an interesting play. I don't know what they'd have to give up to get him, but that would be interesting to see Brady play for the franchise his father played for, funny enough. And then David Wood said Brady goes to the Blues or Florida.
So did any of you guys hear what Brady said in his presser though the other day though? What he was saying? He was saying how, because I guess someone asked him about what his thoughts on all this speculation about his future, and he said it's actually starting to become a little frustrating for him because he's like, I'm committed to the city, and he kind of, with his comments, he almost kind of made it seem like he's not moving. I don't know how much you want to take it as, because athletes, Tavares also said he was always committed to the Islanders, and look how that happened. But from his comments, it seems like he's not going anywhere. So I don't know. Might be maybe we have to pump the brakes on the Tkachuk moving comments, the Tkachuk moving possibility.
I just think there's too much smoke around it. I think he's taking too much heat. I think he's you could say what you want, but we've seen guys play PR face. Like we've seen it with Tavares, we've seen it with Kovalchuk, we've seen it with so many guys over the years that say, "Oh, I don't want to leave, yada yada yada," and then they end up leaving, or they're dealt or whatever the case may be. I think he's tired of it. I think he doesn't last. I know that he's not. I can't say I know this. Sorry, I shouldn't say I know. But I have a very, very, very strong feeling that he doesn't finish that he doesn't re-sign with Ottawa. So I doubt Ottawa is going to want to continue to hold on to him. It depends on what the offers are going to be. If Ottawa's offer is met, I think he's gone.
Okay.
I just want to. Can you hear it?
No, you gotta turn.
None of that. I feel like I've ever shown. I've never said none of those things ever came out of my mouth, but quite honestly, it's just been frustrating. Kind of a distraction, and I've fully committed to this team, to the city, and it's just becoming a distraction.
Yeah, it sounds like he's fed up. He's fed up with it,
and he should be. The coverage of him over the last few months has been absolutely horrendous.
This is a great point from James, too. Brady is a guy that you can bring in when you need a big piece to maybe get to that next level. What goes the other way? Do they send Peterka and some prospects the other way? Because Ottawa's going to need some sort of roster player. And I mean, and Peterka is a point producer. Like, let's just say that he's got talent. I wonder if they can really move him, but to me he would be the most logical piece that I would say to come off their roster to go, because they're not going to move Batherson. And Peterka is signed long-term. He doesn't have any clauses until his final year of his deal in 2029-30. So he's a movable piece. And the cap hit is somewhat close to what Tkachuk is making at $7.7 million. I know it looks bad to just sign him, but because you just got him and then signed him to that deal. But you're going to have to move something in return, something of value too. And Peterka's got value on him. I think he would fit in Ottawa because he's a guy that could come in and play in an established top six. Like, is he a downgrade from Brady Tkachuk? Yes. but there's going to be other players that are other assets that'll come in that deal, and you can win with those guys.
I think Ottawa may X for guys like Dmitry Simashev or Caleb Denoye if they're making a move. If they're going to try to get.
Yeah, but they're going to have to likely looking at Utah. They're going to have to send salary back. Yeah. And they're going to have to send a player back. I don't know if I honestly I think something around like Peterka, a first, and one of Simashev or Denoye could possibly get that done.
Yeah.
That's why somebody was talking about this yesterday. They quoted Adam Herman, which is always amazing. That the NHL's cap is going up, but the free agent market's so terrible. But the trade market's where everything's going to be making noise this year.
Well, a lot of it's we're banking on like maybe Tkachuk, maybe Matthews. I mean, maybe even McDavid. But the whole point is these are big maybes. It's not like none of those guys are guarantees to be moved. So yes, it could be, but it could also be very bad as well. So I don't know.
You got a lot more stars staying put. Isn't that better than guys moving around all over the place?
Well, I mean, for fans and activity player movement, no, but I mean, there is something to be said for guys staying put. But I just think the whole notion that it may be active on the trade market is too early right now. None of these names are guaranteed to move. So it could be a boring season, or you can get some bangers like Matt Tkachuk for Huberdeau that makes everybody lose their mind. You don't know which direction it's going to go. I mean, the only player, and he's nowhere near the caliber as those names I mentioned, but the only player I'm fairly confident is going to be moved is like a guy like Vinny Trocheck. Like I think Trocheck's going to get traded, but he's not the name of a guy like Tkachuk or Matthews would be. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm honestly a little lukewarm on this trade market. I mean, if it all pans out and Jason Robertson, Brady Tkachuk, Matthews, all these guys are on the market, then it'll be a lot of fun. But
by the way,
it's not a guarantee.
One thing about that
I
though
think
is
both of those guys are out. I just think Austin Matthews is getting frustrated too. I think he's another one. His political alignments have really, and then the gold medal
or perceived political alignments. Like the press has done a lot to shove these guys out, like a lot. And the stuff that went on with Tkachuk, I'd want out of there right now.
Yeah, I don't see any way that Tkachuk is there after those comments, unless there's some like real smoothing over done. I don't see where.
But they twisted around his words to be like, "Well, you have to denounce your dad." What do you think he's choosing?
Yeah, he's always going to choose his father over everything else, and rightfully so. It's his family.
Yeah, everybody.
I think there's too much that's gone on to have them both stay in their locations. I think the trade market is going to be real interesting this summer. The free agency is going to be horrible.
I hope you're right.
I think the trade market is going to be very interesting.
But Anthony, the one good thing is
likely gone. I think Matthews and Tkachuk are both gone. I don't know who else is going, but I could see Utah trying to make a big move for one of those guys. Utah making a big move for Austin Matthews would just be off the friggin' charts. But yeah,
July 1st might not be sexy, but who knows what happens at the draft, and also who knows what happens throughout the rest of the summer. Because after all, I still can't believe the Huberdeau Uyghur deal so far. The pendulum is all the way over on Florida winning that deal. But
I mean, Uyghur's not even on Uyghur's not even on Calgary anymore. He was moved to Utah.
Right, but I mean, even when he was there, like I thought that deal was going to completely revitalize them, and instead.
Yeah. So next time we hit the air, the draft lottery, because the draft lottery is Tuesday, our next show is Wednesday, right?
Yeah. And the week after, I'm away.
I'm going to give bold prediction on the lottery, being that we're not going to be on until then. I say that Seattle is going to move up from 5 and win the draft lottery. They have failed to add an electric talent. They tried with Panarin. They haven't picked first in their short career so far. I think they could use a player like Gavin McKenna. I think they're going to win the lottery, and they are going to draft Gavin McKenna. So, if
Phil, you got a prediction you want to share?
Give your prediction for the lottery. That's mine. I think Utah moves up and wins.
No, Seattle, you mean?
Sorry, yeah, Seattle. My bad.
Yeah. We're hoping maybe we get a chance to watch it live. I'm going to be unavailable.
Toronto winning it, honestly. I could. You want to talk about teams that could use a first overall pick and just kind of move on. They could use it, and if they get that first overall pick, it's incentive for Matthews to stay because McKenna could be a guy that could help turn around Toronto in like a second. So I could see Toronto winning it.
Mark?
Originally I said at the beginning of the year I wouldn't be surprised if Nashville won it. You know what, guys? I'm going to go for chaos. Sometimes I just like to root for it.
He's going to go for Florida.
The Florida Panthers are going to win the draft.
I had a feeling. The minute you said chaos, I knew where you were going with that.
And the New York Rangers will drop to 5th.
I just hit Sim Lottery. The Devils won the lottery, moved up from 10 to 2nd, and get Ivor Stenberg, and the Sharks move up to 1st. Imagine that.
That'd be nuts.
Wow.
So, Mark, you said
because you can't help but think. Now, look, all credit to the NHL that make it nice and transparent. Like they did all these last year. It was a boring process, but it ended up becoming fun in the end.
What, last year's lottery?
Yeah.
Well, that was fantastic.
And it's hard to make it into a TV event, but they did it. So
now, do you believe that there is shenanigans with the lottery?
Yeah, I definitely think there's shenanigans.
I don't believe that there's shenanigans. I really don't.
I think there is. Even when the Rangers got it, I believe there's shenanigans.
When the Rangers got it, Toronto's ball went up and hit the post, sort of like John Tavares hitting the post on an empty net. So,
well, if Gary Bettman wants to take away the All-Star game from the Islanders again this coming year,
yeah, I think that had something to do with them getting. I sorry, but I believe that's the case.
I just think it's at random, and that's just what I'll stick with. I'll stick with. Because they did it live. Like, what did they do? Weigh the balls. So, I will say this, everybody. Everybody that's out there, you're religious. Please say a prayer for my brother-in-law, who's having a very big night. He's doing a lot of positive things, but tonight's I just got some news that there's a big night coming, and an important night, I should say, and it's one step closer to him getting out, and getting healthy. So it'll be good, but it's just everybody just want him to get out. So and guys, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap it up right there. So everybody, again, thanks for joining us on Big Apple Hockey. We hope to have either a reaction video or whatever on Wednesday morning, if not Tuesday night. So, guys, here we go right into the off season, and let's keep these. Let's hopefully see some good playoff action tonight. But thank you all very much, and we will see you soon.